and welcome to the 50th episode of XenoChat, ignoring bonus episodes. I am your host, Tyler, along with Justin.
Hey, everyone.
All right, we got several returning faces. First up, we have Mari.
Hello.
We have Nick.
Hey.
We have B.
Hello.
And we have Anthony.
Hello.
All right, today we're going to. I know you guys are waiting on bated breath for our Xenoblade 3 final review, but we're going to go back to Xenoblade 2 for a little bit before we get into that. I promise it's coming. Probably November.
Just give us a bit more time. Some of us have not finished yet.
I'm gonna say some people didn't finish yet.
It big.
Yeah,
it
I'm
big
one
game.
of them.
Yeah, and?
Yeah, you one of them.
Yeah, we didn't
About-
finish, and honestly, I just want more time to process it.
Same.
I'm gonna be close. If I make that one, but I'm working on it. I think I'm a little bit into chapter 4 out of 7, so there's a good chance I might make it.
Early holiday gift. Just think of it that way, I guess. I don't know. It's not going to be a gift, is it?
It's a gift, yes.
Sure, it's a
Besides,
gift.
if y'all want to see reviews for Xenoblade 3, there's plenty of them on YouTube.
But
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
review is going to be
We'll get
better
to it
than all the others.
eventually. We'll get to it eventually. Is what
Yes,
I'm
unlike
saying.
most
my
gaming journalists,
opinion.
we're actually qualified to talk about it.
That's right.
But we're not as clickbaity as them, so.
That's
I mean-
oh my
true.
gosh.
On the bright
Uh.
side, all they had to have... I mean, well, if you think about it, all they had to have was a journalism degree, if that, to be qualified to talk about it, so why not us?
All right. So, anyways, moving back to our episode, let's talk about some news in our little merch watch. So, special edition goods for Xenoblade Chronicles 3 have finally been shipped to folks in North America. And I think
Yay.
most of us here got our special edition stuff, right?
Yep.
It's sitting
I
in
got
my
one
shrine.
of them. I'm waiting on a few more. Some of them got pushed back to October.
Huh?
Oh yeah,
What?
yeah. But
Oh, yeah. That's right.
I think it's because they had not made enough stocks for the first
Oh,
batch, and some people had to wait for the second batch in October. But they still got the confirmation that
Yeah.
they were gonna get it. It's just they
It's
have to wait for the
Wario
next batch.
2.0.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, wait on that.
And from what I heard, Nintendo New York is going to have the special edition stuff at the store. But I also read that you need the receipt in order to pick them up. So I think it's for people who pre-ordered it at the Nintendo store.
Oh
That
yeah,
sounds
that would
about
make
right,
sense.
yeah.
That would make sense. Yeah,
So-
I think some people did.
Yeah, so before you get on the bus or train to head up to New York and try to head to the Nintendo store, keep that in mind. Also, it sounds like the special edition goods went up for order on the European Nintendo store.
Yeah,
The
because
online store.
basically Europeans had a bit of a different ways of doing it. I think it's because they saw the fiasco with America and they were like, yeah, it's gonna be too complicated. It was too complicated to try and manage how to ship two shipment to everyone. So they probably went like, you know what, guys, you guys in Europe just buy the standard and we'll have the special edition goodies up for pre-orders later, which was
Eh.
this week, and it was a mess
And they
again.
still messed it up. They still messed it up.
Still don't know. That's crazy.
If
At
this
least-
is any
At
kind
least
of
from what I saw,
indication-
Wario was not to be seen. It was just the red screen and timeout thing.
Oh, I hear the Europeans get Waluigi instead, actually.
Oh, really? That's just as bad. But I didn't see it in the memes though, so I don't know. I don't know if they got it for this thing. But yeah, it's terrible how much Nintendo messes up with that.
Sorry, your European friends. We feel your
Yeah,
pain.
I do hope that they have they do something like they did for us, where they do another day and they more hardcore watch it to be like, because you remember for us, like when we were pre-ordering it, like almost all of us, pretty much all of us got it and we got a few extra copies, but I feel like it's because they were putting on a listing, they were removing it and putting a new one, so I feel like they were constantly watching it to like manage the traffic before it crashed. But like, I feel like Europe, they did like the first day that they did it here would just crash for a couple of hours.
I
I
honestly
was
feel
just
like
like,
you're
God.
giving them way too much credit.
But it's true though. The listings kept going off and on, and like, for like it had crashed a little bit, but then after that, it was like it was always on. So I feel like they were watching it a lot more closely the second time.
So in other
Even though it was
words,
still messy, we still managed to all order it. So
Nintendo, you need an extra hamster.
yep,
Or or
you
500.
need
I
to
don't know.
upgrade your toasters.
Yeah, you need one more hamster running in that wheel,
You need
powering your
tune up
servers.
on that hamster wheel.
Yes, exactly.
Quick, get
Yeah.
Banna.
Not just Banna.
Quick, get Banna's dad.
Don don don. Yeah, let's go.
All right.
I just gave you a segue. No, I'm kidding. We're not ready for that part yet.
No, we're not. So there's still more we can talk about. Over on Ami Ami, you can get the acrylic figures for Xenoblade 3. Those are still up for pre-order.
Yeah.
And I noticed that they actually have the Mithra figure up for order. I believe that got a reprint recently because I remember
It
Play
could be
Asia had
because
it in stock.
it could
And
be it's popular.
yeah, so I decided to order it off of Ami Ami because I'm tired of waiting for Good Smile. In fact, I'm going to sign into my Good Smile account real quick because I think like on there it's not supposed to ship until like 2023. Meanwhile,
Oh
Ami Ami
wow.
has it in stock right now, so I'm like, you
That is
know what? Let me just
not
get this.
surprising. My brother was going to order a brand new re-release from there just the other day. In fact, I did just the other day myself, and that one, which is a re-release, was not going to be coming out until like 2024 or something like that. Was what they
Yeah.
had it marked. I was like, what?
It's ridiculous. Like I'm on my Good Smile right now. So the Mithra estimated time of shipment March 2023. Meanwhile,
That's
here it is on
crazy.
Ami Ami. I could just
Oh
get
my
it right now,
god.
which is exactly what I did, and I'm gonna go ahead and cancel this off of Good Smile. So yeah, Good Smile, you lost some business right there.
Well,
Basically, Justin
technically
just
they're the
said, get
makers of
fucked.
Although
the
then again,
figurine.
Even though you technically didn't, because it was when you
I
sold,
was just about to say you really did it because I just got it from somewhere else.
you sold it to Ami Ami to sell to me. It's,
I was just about to say that, yeah.
I was like,
But
yeah,
You
they
don't
make
get the
all
full
that.
slice of cake. You get a part of the cake.
You get part of the cake.
You were close.
But yeah, she should still be up on Ami Ami. Actually, let me check that real quick. Let me fact check myself on it. Come on, Ami Ami, load.
Actually,
Yeah,
I'm
Ami
curious
can take
now.
some time to load
Mm-hmm.
sometimes.
Ami Mithra, right?
Mm.
Yeah, you can still order her on there.
Ami Ami, not
You can
mommy
also
mommy,
order the
okay?
Siren model kit as well. So those are up for order right now.
Okay,
Nice.
what's 20,000 yen in USD?
It should
Oh
Look
say
it
wait,
up.
right underneath.
Yen is
it
actually
just says
down
it
right
right there
now.
underneath. No, 137. Huh.
Or
I'll
that.
wait for the amiibo.
Okay. We don't know when the amiibo's coming. They haven't announced that
Yeah,
yet.
what is going on with that? By the way, like they have been radio silent. I think we're only just now getting Sephiroth, and Sephiroth was like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, from Nintendo, this is unprecedented.
I saw a Minecraft amiibo the other day. I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we have those. We have two of those. We have two of those.
Yes.
Actually.
I mean, just in general, I feel like the amiibo are kind of on their way out.
Yeah, can't wait for it. I'm gonna be rich.
I want my cute little figures.
Yeah, just like all your game collecting. I'm sure.
Mhm.
No,
Black
no, no,
market
no, no, no.
Anthony
The
selling.
game collecting's probably a bust, but I honestly do think that the amiibo are gonna like actually go up in value. I am hard banking on that.
I hope so for you. Anyway,
I really hope so too.
All right, moving on.
Yep, moving on indeed. So, other than that, it looks like the Xenoblade 3 DLC, the new wave, is out or either out or it's
I
getting
think
preloaded.
today
it's
it was
pre.
supposed to come out.
Oh wait,
Well,
yeah,
no,
Yeah, I think
technically tomorrow.
Yeah, I was gonna
Right.
say
Okay,
it
so that's
Oh.
preloaded
why.
Which
already
of this
anyway.
recording, it's 10/13 right now.
Yeah, October
October
13th.
13th.
Yeah, by the time this is released, it's gonna be out.
Yes.
Yes.
So that's another reason we're gonna wait for our review so we can check out this new hero character and the battle
Yeah, and then by the
mode.
time we do the review, there's gonna be maybe the next one that's gonna
That's
release.
true.
Whatever.
That's
Maybe.
true.
I can
uh,
ever find that last other hero as is anyway.
Mm-hmm.
More content.
Also, the other thing, did we mention the books we got? I think we skipped it. But yeah, we got a lot of us did buy the Cosmos Fix book and
Yeah, by
actually got
Choco.
it, and it's
Yes,
beautiful.
it is beautiful.
And if you
And
I
want to see that,
also
please do.
recently I managed to also secure a copy of uh one of the old Choco book of Xenosaga 3. Of the three books he had done in the past,
oh,
like
the Zeno you mentioned. Yeah.
yeah, these ones. Like I got the tree, and I was just like, yes, I got the
Nice.
unofficial Xenosaga hard book, or the most official one we could get, considering it's non-existent.
I do want to say about the Cosmos Fix book. One of my favorite parts about that book is all the guest artist drawings of Cosmos and Telos. Really nice.
Yes,
Oh yeah, the
Very.
that's really
Cosmos Fix.
cool.
Yeah,
If you
it's
if you
really
want to see
nice.
Cosmos in drawn by the Fate artist, that's one of them.
Yeah, you guys were telling me about that. It's
Yeah,
pretty
it's good.
funny.
It's good. And Saito's in there, and Red Juice, another artist I really like, did a version of
Yeah, there's a lot of
Cosmos.
really good artists in
There's
that
some
book.
really good ones.
Yeah, and Choco did also added some other redesigns in there that I really like too. I'm like,
Yeah,
Hmm.
I
these
agree.
are future Cosmos figures in the making right here.
He also threatens anyone who brings up Mokaz in the book, which is pretty great.
And
At least that sounded like I read it like a threat.
I know that there is a
Whoever
uh,
said Mokaz, please step outside or something.
so yeah. No, I remember there is a notice at the beginning of the book that it's like because it's in English too, but it's like
Yeah,
he admits that it's like
machine.
partially just machine translated, and there's you can tell. But I remember there's also one part where he calls Cosmos a porn star, and I'm like, is that what he meant?
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
Yes.
there's some like wording of some stuff in there that I feel like it's it's like from a very like I'm looking way deeper into this artistic mindset where I feel like it was trying to describe that and didn't quite get across the point he was trying to make. But yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know that it was
the
far off of
expression
that
thing.
because like it's there's a lot of art where it looks like he's going for like this kind of more like grotesque, like to make people uncomfortable kind of like look at a broken down uh Cosmos, and it's got some like
Oh yeah,
weird, sexualness to it, but not, but
That's
like
a
it
that
feels like it's
was
meant to make you uncomfortable on purpose, and I feel like
Yeah,
that
pretty
was like
much. I know
artist
there was
intention.
one where she had a bit more of a translucent body, but you could see like the parts inside. I was like, this is so cool.
Oh yeah, like the spine through,
Yeah,
like
I
she was
love
wearing
that
like
one.
lingerie
I
looking
really
stuff, but
love
she had
that
like
one
her spine
somehow. Like
showing.
I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, I think
yeah.
that stuff's pretty cool too.
It's a really cool book. Definitely recommend getting it. We all ordered it from Otaku Republic, right?
Yeah, because it was
Yes.
100 times
It
easier
was the
than trying to go
easiest
through the
place.
whole proxy crap that was. Honestly, the proxy thing is not really easy, and
Mhm.
I feel like it kind of forces you to go through some Japanese pages. It's a bit confusing, to be honest.
Otaku Republic was very accommodating, and like
Yes.
they
Yeah,
packaged it very
it's very
well.
much
I was
you
pretty
order,
pleased
you
with the
click, you're
order.
done.
Yeah.
Now, can you still get this book?
uh,
Last
let
I
me check. Let
knew,
me check
I
how
think we
many
checked
stuff
last
they
yes.
have.
night, didn't we? Somebody did.
I'll check again right now,
Yeah,
live.
maybe we can
Uh,
link it. I don't know if it'll be still there if
Yeah,
I
who
can actually
knows?
look it
the
up, but
listings change a lot, so I would
it's
say it's
worth
better if
it.
they do a search because there's always multiple listings since they both sell
Yes.
new and used.
It is
So
still available.
Yes, it is.
You can get it for $44.43 USD.
It's not bad actually.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
also a
it was
listing
not bad.
restocked at 41. That's what I mean. Like their listing are not always the same price. It depends
Mhm.
as if some were like the one at 44. It's written like Comic Cat, so I guess it's a stock from Comic Cat, while the rest stock is probably like more massively produced, so it's a bit cheaper. So and they also have a used listing that's somehow a bit more expensive for some reason.
Yeah, which was really odd. But yeah, if you see
But
that
yeah,
used one
you can
first,
still get the book there.
yeah,
It's
check.
You
it's
know
very
what?
easy to order there.
Someone DM me that. I think I might cop that.
You gonna
Oh,
grab it?
also, like if
Yeah.
you've never ordered through them before, apparently they send you. Which I say apparently because this is the first time I had ever ordered through them. But they sent me like one of those like little book covers, which I know isn't a lot, but it was like, oh, that's
Hey,
kind of
that's
nice.
cool.
You get
Yeah.
like a little transparent book cover thing with it.
Here you go. I sent you the cheapest one that's also new, I believe.
Thank you,
Yeah, it's a new
HK.
one. You're welcome.
All
Right.
But
right.
yeah, that's about it for the merch, I think.
Cool. Yep. That's basically it. So we can move on to the main event, which is Morag. But first, I guess let's talk about Mor Ardain, since the two are kind of connected.
Yay.
Just a little connected, you know?
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah. I mean, yeah. We're gonna. This episode is
It's kind
not
of
just
important.
Morag, but Morag and friends, and the country of Mor Ardain.
An
Yeah.
important figure in which country? No.
So what we're saying is Morag isn't good enough to get her own episode. I'm kidding.
Hey now.
You
No,
know,
no,
Dang.
she's great.
it's more
Hey
so
now.
that like Morag, like you can talk about Morag without like the rest of the people around her too. So
It's
like
kind of hard to talk about Morag without Mor Ardain
Yeah,
involved
you
because of
do
how
need the
involved
whole
she is.
yeah,
yeah,
You
you
the
need
whole
know,
the whole
picture.
picture. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. I think like because we're looking at the cheat sheet, I think you just copied and pasted my ramblings there about
Yes.
Morarding.
What I did was I basically took most of your ramblings and put them wherever I thought
Okay.
they were appropriate.
Very lots of ramblings. Excellent. Well, then I will start off with that rambling right there because I
Go
went
for
Yeah,
it.
go
with
for it.
Moradine is a dying titan. Um, and when the titans die, they get really hot, as it was mentioned a lot. But what's so special about Moradine is they're known for their hot springs. So take off all your clothes at the hot
Hell yeah.
spring.
Yeah.
um, yeah. I think it was indicated that they um, mined the crap out of the titan, and that accelerated the titan's death. But the people don't seem to really care. They kind of live on like a high horse until Amalthus took over Mord and continued its acceleration when he was blasting, you know, the world tree with the chest of Mor Ardain. But yeah, did I also mention it has a hot spring?
yeah. You forgot to mention that if you zoom out on the model of Mor Ardain, he's wearing a swimsuit. No,
That's right. That's right. Yes, he's
Oh
wearing
my
Pinocchio.
gosh.
Mor Ardain is actually just one giant hot spring episode.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah,
like,
and it's
oh,
like the only Titan that we kind of got a sense of what happens when a Titan dies.
Hmm.
So yeah, it gets really hot, and people don't care until it's too late, just like global warming. Huzzah!
Yeah, and the thing is, yeah, because they are a very militaristic empire, and because their titan is dying, they're like trying to like also take over other nations. So like, hey, we're
Gormott.
dying. We need
Uh,
somewhere to go.
Yeah,
yeah,
who
pretty
yeah,
can steer
much.
us out of this problem? How about this young child?
yeah. That's why they wanted to take over Gormott, I believe. Right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is correct. Gormott is their target nation that we see in the main game. Now, I have a question because I cannot remember to save my life. Um, were they looking to expand into Gormott 500 years ago? Because if I recall correctly, in Torna, they mentioned that Mor Ardain is already like showing signs of dying.
Yeah, I believe you're right in that. I do remember them touching a little bit about that.
But my question is, because I can't remember. Does anyone remember if during Torna, like Mor Ardain is looking to expand at that point, or were they kind of just riding it out at that then?
I think at that point they were just
Uh,
I feel like they were just going around but not exactly expanding. I'm not sure.
I
well,
think
They were just kind of there.
well, I'm citing the Xenoblade fandom wiki. Um, Gormott was an independent nation, but it fell under Ardanian control less than 50 years
Okay.
before Pyra's reawakening. So in Torna, it would have been an independent nation.
Yeah.
Right. Okay,
So
that's
they
what I
were just
thought.
kind of there but not quite, they were not invading the
I
place
mean,
yet.
if we played Torna first, then the core game, I think we would have seen um, like that. I think because we played the core game first and then Torna, we had the kind of like a foreshadowing of maybe they were starting to think about it when Torna was a thing. You know what I'm trying to say?
You sure do.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I was really disappointed in with Torna, probably more than anything else, was I was actually really hoping that I didn't know what happened in the game, so I was hoping that the party would go to Mor Ardain, and I'd get to see a younger, like somewhat healthier Titan, and see how different that would be. But unfortunately, Torna never takes us there. You've literally got the Titan, and you've got Gormott, and that's it.
Yep, that is a common complaint with Torna, but that's another story.
I guess I just didn't expect that to be in there, but I understand. Yeah, that would have been really cool to see for
I feel
sure.
like it would make sense given the weight that they put on Hugo in Torna of the Golden Country. Um, but
It kind of would have.
at the same time, what they did worked just fine.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I guess like I feel like it would have made maybe a little more sense to like give him more like dialogue about it. I suppose, where or like talk about it more. But I don't know. I don't know how. I mean, it is a DLC. Um, and they already. I mean, yeah, I guess they could have put it in there too. It would have been pretty. It had a lot of content in it as is. But yeah, I kind of get why they stuck to the places they stuck to for it. I guess is what I'm saying. But yeah,
Okay. Um, so this is just some of these notes are mine. I guess I should have put them in a better order. Because I
It's fine. It's
It's
fine.
okay.
Go
Take your time.
take your
no
time. I think we're all tired a bit. It's an evening, and
no it's okay. But anyway, I was going to say I'll kind of jump around a bit, but because I thought this was interesting. Again, this is from the Xenoblade fandom wiki, but both the Japanese and English names for Moraidane's Titan, which in Japanese it's super Superubia.
Superubia.
Yeah, thank you. They both allude to the sin of pride, which makes a lot of sense for Mar Ordain with their imperialistic mindset. And then yeah, because the Japanese name is actually a Latin word, and Moradane is Scottish Gaelic. I thought that was a very interesting tidbit,
Yeah.
and it matches their people quite well.
yeah, it is.
Um, and also, this is a little tidbit that I also thought was interesting is that there was a port town that we never go to on the right shoulder called Chilsane, but of course we it's mentioned like several times in both the main game and in Torna, but it is not a place we actually go to. I think I heard that it gets destroyed in the main game, but I
Yeah, I think I barely remember that, but I think it's because it's something a bit more vague of a background lore thingy that my brain forgot a good portion of. But yeah, I think I vaguely remember something like that being mentioned.
yeah. And then the last thing I had was I really like the look of this Titan a lot because it's
Yeah, it
the
is really
only
cool.
Titan that looks kind of like humanoid in shape.
Yeah, it's the only
Oh,
bipedal
yeah.
Titan, right?
It reminds me a lot of Groot.
Yeah, it just looks like a giant
I
Groot.
can see
Yeah.
that.
I am Mor Ardain.
I was
Oh my
gonna say
gosh.
it actually reminds me of the third Colossi from
Should I
or
do
the
the
third
French
Colossus
version?
from Shadow of the Colossus a little bit.
Should I do the French version where they break the French to make him look cuter?
Wait, what?
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 Yeah,
Wait.
the Groot in French, instead of saying
Oh,
the regular how you would say it usually in French,
Mhm.
they kind of break the French a bit to make it look like he's struggling.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Please say it because I know what it would be in French.
So they say instead, "Je s'appelle Groot."
Oh my gosh,
Instead of saying "Je m'appelle Groot,"
That's
it's
actually really funny.
that's
yeah,
hilarious.
yeah.
that is pretty great.
So this is the French of Marvel movies, yeah. But yeah, so that I was like, maybe I should do the French of like "Je s'appelle Mor Ardain." It's kind of weird though because I'm trying to pronounce both French and English at the same time. I'm like, but yeah.
Turn each side of brain on.
Yep, yep. Fringlish. You're speaking Fringlish.
So we're all talking
Exactly.
about
Like
like
when
what
you're bilingual, there's no middle.
Yeah,
It's
I was gonna
always
say that's
on.
common there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very common.
What were you gonna
So if
say,
you're trying
Anthony?
to say both at the
Oh.
same time, it sounds weird.
what I was gonna say is this is a completely incorrect take. So I'm just
Yeah.
gonna preface this by saying that. But what I see when I see Mor Ardain is um I see this is such a stupid thing. I see Mikolash, host of the Nightmare from the game Bloodborne, because he wears that like stupid cage on his head. And when I see
Oh,
silhouettes of Mor Ardain, I see the cage on the head, and like that's what it reminds me of.
he's got a tall head.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's got a tall head. And that's like I said, completely incorrect take, but that's what comes to mind.
it's 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 Lanz's Ouroboros.
I mean, you know what?
Huh.
Ants had some funny takes over the years, but that's not that bad.
Yeah, that's not bad. Man, I forget sometimes until I look at the picture of Mor Ardain again, like how like top heavy he is, or whatever Titan is.
To be
Titan
honest,
man.
you gotta wonder like how the city, like the super metal city, holds on that. It's really weird when you look at it. It's just like there's a desert on this thing and like a city and all that, and like, it's like a humanoid shape that's standing, but like it's not
It's
like
Wasteland.
the ones in the Xenoblade 1 where they're not really moving. That one can is actually moving and walking. So I'm just like, hmm.
It
Well, I have
doesn't.
to
Yeah.
wonder if part of it might be like Titans having somewhat like their own gravity, but
That too.
That
Yeah,
would
that
make
could be.
sense.
one thing I really like about Moradane, and I'm not like I guess I like desert and wasteland areas a lot more than I do whenever a lot more than I would have thought. But this area in particular is like really cool because there's a lot of verticality to
Mm-hmm.
There
Morardane.
is, yeah.
Mhm.
There's like a an abandoned factory looking place built into a cliffside that
With a
you
bunch of
travel through like a
spiders.
dungeon. There are gigantic pipe like geothermal pipes underground that you can travel through. Like it's got a lot of depth to it, not metaphorically. Like actual depth and a lot of like yeah, just a lot of verticality, like a lot of place to explore like in multiple levels in some ways. Like and yeah, it's kind of selective where you can actually go with that, but yeah, there's that they did make use of the height of Mor Ardain in a lot of ways to allow you to, like get the most of that out of that kind of exploration, I feel like. And I do like that.
Spot on.
Then they put like a hidden area, that Fife of Forgetfulness, underneath the city.
And then they have some of the best music in the game.
Oh,
Oh my
Oh
Yes.
god.
yes.
yes.
Oh my
The
So
gosh.
music
I
of
was I was
Morag
hoping
is
that we'd bring up the
Mm.
theme of Mor Ardain because
It's
there's
awesome.
Yes, it absolutely is. It's probably my favorite overworld theme in the entire game. But what's very interesting about that song is that you can pick up on a lot of various different musical influences from US pop music in that song. You can hear in that song bits of Thriller by Michael Jackson. You can hear Dancing Queen. You can hear uh I had a list.
The
Give me.
wonderful
I'm gonna. I'm gonna.
saxophone solo.
I'm going to come back. We're gonna come back to this.
You
Talk.
can
talk
hear us getting DMCA'd. No,
Yeah. Do not hum the
We did not.
songs.
We did not play the song. It's fine. But yeah, the the music of Mor Ardain is just super great, and like you just want to vibe to it and kind of dance around whenever it pops. But yeah,
But yes, I used to think that I heard Thriller whenever I played Morag. Then I would often like hum that.
I can't wait for the Siva Gunner mix.
it's just that music makes you like so hype for the exploring of this
Yeah.
region.
And
You're
does
just like, oh
anyone
yeah, let's
else
go.
like when it's near the end of the song? If you're listening to the soundtrack, put it back to the beginning so it never ends.
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Although I actually really like the way the song ends too.
and then you
Crab
gotta
Rave.
click
That was the third
repeat.
one.
What? What was the third one? Sorry.
Crab Rave. So Thriller, Dancing Queen, and Crab Rave all have like you
Oh,
can like pick pieces of those songs out of Roaming the Waves, and it's wild. Like because like once you know that, you can't unhear it.
Hmm.
uh, guilty pleasure in Mor Ardain getting on the elevator in the castle with Wolf
Yeah.
and just seeing Wolfric sit down while he's waiting for the elevator to go up.
Yeah.
Like,
Guilty
dang, I need
pleasure.
to do that on an elevator.
One of my guilty pleasure with Mor Ardain is like riding the elevator to the very top, finding like that pool of water that I could land safely in, and then just jumping and like falling as like far as I'm gonna fall without taking any fall damage. I love
I
doing
don't
that
think
so
I
much.
tried that one.
I found that there was above the pit of toxic sludge thing, um back where the elevators kind of are, and the um uh, not zip lines, what's the word I'm looking for, gondola thing, there, that was my favorite training spot right there, like just bash those, soldiers in the face.
Oh yeah, I remember there's like that there's like a valley. It's almost it almost feels a little bit hidden, but like if you're coming out of like Alba Cavendish, like, and you go like to the right rather than like the hill that goes up to like the factory, um there's that little area that like dips down and there's like all those pipes and there's like a bunch of like military installments down there. And I
Yeah.
used that place to actually like like fill out affinity chart stuff. I remember especially like I remember the thing that's crazy that I remember most about that place, I guess, is just like one of those little things that you do that just kind of I guess sticks with you because that's where you got it. Where I got it was like getting some of like Harold's affinity chart stuff that was like really weird, like, oh, get the last hit with this 200 times or something.
Yeah.
And I remember filling that out down there because it was just like easy to mow through all those guys.
And one of the salvaging points was my favorite core crystal farming spot.
Oh, is it like the one
I
right
think
outside the city?
Yeah, that's
I think there's one
Yeah.
of
yeah,
them
yeah.
that was fairly lucky with the rare gems. I think.
There
Yep.
was so if you go, I know that the salvage place by the docks is one where you
Yes.
can pull up those crabble, and those
Yeah.
crabble, like especially if you have the right, like
If you
there's
have
a
the
certain chip
right,
that you can equip to like um the fist fighting type, like the why can't I
Yeah.
think of it, the
yeah,
gauntlet type
and if
that
you
will
had a
like make them drop more, and you could just like farm rare core
and you
crystals.
have if you had a blade with like salvaging on it too, I
Hmm.
found made a difference.
Yeah,
Yeah, it would
a lot
make
of
a
stuff
lot
you
of
could do.
difference with salvaging skill, but also like luck stats, like both of them together would like give you a lot of chance of getting
Oh
them.
yeah.
Does anybody else have like remember like that from Alba Cavendish? There's like that rail system that's like seems like it's for like just mostly used for like carrying materials from place to place rather than people, but you can
Yeah,
jump on top of
I
it and
think
ride it up
I
that thing.
remember. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like thinking about that, and there's like if you ride it all the way through, you get to that one of the super bosses. So I actually looked it up because I was thinking I remembered it, but it is Tattooed Hugo. It's like the giant bird
Mm,
on top of the tower.
right.
I was like,
Yes.
that was
Yes. Yes.
pretty cool bit. And then I remember if the weather is right, you can walk just out into the field in Mor Ardain, and there will be a bunch of annoying skyfish and other things that are like high leveled that will kill you very
Yes.
Yeah,
easily.
I remember there was a lot of like higher level or really like harder monster at that point whenever I got there. I think the ones I hated the most were like the spiky ones, like the round ones that get spiky. I forgot their
The
names, but
urchins?
Yeah.
yes, because I
Yeah.
think they were doing some debuff type things or some spike damage, and they were kicking my butt really hard at first.
Yeah, that, and I remember there being a lot of the flying fish, which
That too,
why
yeah.
can't I think of their name even though I see them all the time in 3 right now?
What,
Yeah,
the
I see.
Lexos?
I think it was the Lexos actually.
But flying fish is so much easier to describe.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
Yeah.
Flying fishies.
All right. Well, we were doing like a big overview of Mor Ardain, but let's zoom in on its characters. How about we talk
Yeah.
about Morag?
Yeah, the queen.
Love Morag.
Yeah, me too.
Me
Because
too.
Same.
How
I
come
think
she
we all
doesn't have
I
a
think we all
figurine yet? Come on.
Yeah.
they're cowards. That's why.
They are cowards. Ah, no. Yeah. But yeah, Morag is the Flamebringer, the most powerful driver on Mor Ardain. She's basically protects the Emperor, which is her cousin Nile.
Cousin? Wait, I thought it was her little brother.
I thought it was her little brother.
So
Huh.
Niall is her cousin, but more like Niall's father raises Morag. It's like an
Yep.
adopted thing.
Oh,
So
Yeah,
they're
pretty
yeah,
I
much.
they're
your
am.
cousins,
brother-ish.
but
You have
yeah.
literally flipped everything I known about this Titan on its head. Excuse me while I go cry.
It's
I mean,
what
They
a
still have
why is that the thing that flips everything on its
wow,
head?
that's
they
yeah.
still have like a sibling like
They have a
relationship.
Yeah.
very. They
So
have.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's the
Doesn't change
thing. Like
anything
I.
about the relation.
You
Wow,
mean
had
they're
no
related by
idea.
blood, but they're not related by exclusive blood, but they're also still related, but
Yeah, I
they're
know, right?
How
not related
dare
the way I
they?
thought they were related. Oh my god.
Okay, so Niall, yes.
Mhm.
so
Anthony is
yeah,
in denial. That was bad.
Yeah, literally.
Edit that
yeah,
out.
yeah. Niall became emperor at a very young age, and Morag acts as the Special Inquisitor, and is entrusted with the jewels of the Empire, which are the core crystals of Brigid and
Aegeon.
Literally,
Aegeon.
a Geon,
Okay,
yeah.
so
Aegeon.
is she actually called the Special Inquisitor, or is that a Star Wars thing?
No,
Okay, all
she's
right.
No,
called a
she's
Special
actually
Inquisitor.
called that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. We're not going crazy.
Pretty
Got
sure
it.
that's like one of her battle lines, too.
There is a reason why I am Special Inquisitor.
Yeah,
Could be.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
had a
Yeah,
brain
yeah.
fart when I
it's
wrote
all
that.
good.
So
But
okay.
yeah, and I think she was also basically raised to be the acting emperor until Niall was born. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
the old emperor died, and that happened when Niall was young. So Niall kind of became a young emperor, and Morag is basically the special inquisitor and kind of protects him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's
she
like a
protects
bodyguard.
him and her country, in
Yeah,
short. Like,
She's a
she
very
she deals with a lot of difficult situations.
she's a very passionate
hmm
person.
she's very devoted to Mor Ardain, and she
Mhm.
keeps a cool head. Like you don't see her getting frustrated super often. She's generally very level headed.
Yeah, she is.
Hmm.
and I like that about her. And
Even when she's
also,
surprised, she takes it like rather
yeah,
calmly.
yeah.
Even but like you can tell that it's like, oh well, that kind of goes against what I thought. But she was just like, oh, it's just taken aback. She's
hmm
still like super chill about everything she does.
And like, what's cool about Morag, and this kind of goes into what we're going to talk about later with relationship with other characters. I kind of like how she kind of respects her rivals if like they put up a pretty good fight.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like you can tell she respects the heck out of a Rex because Rex is able to keep up with her.
Mm-hmm.
And he
Yeah, and
outboxes her at the beginning of the game.
Yeah,
yes, yes, he
very
does.
much so. And like she doesn't really resent him for it. She's more just like, you
Huh.
know what, this dude's pretty good.
She's
Not
like,
bad,
Yeah.
Rex.
And she's like,
she gets a
huh.
water tower dumped on her, and she's like, I ain't even
Okay.
mad. I ain't even mad.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's
All
like,
right.
One of
That
my
was a good match, bro.
I was gonna say like one of my one part I really like is where they're in Indal and she's kind of like questioning Rex about what he plans to do and his motives and stuff, and just like her being surprised at his answers about that and such, and just like choosing to that part where she kind of like chooses. It feels like she's kind of like affirming her trust in him in some ways. I really like that part a lot, actually.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I like how when she joins the team, she's just very much just like, I just want to see where this goes.
Yeah, yeah.
You're an interesting person. Interesting things are probably going to happen around you, so let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty
Ye-
much.
Yeah,
She's more
And
I
she
straightforward
also,
about it, whereas Zeke is like playing around the whole time.
yeah. Go ahead, Jin.
I was just gonna say like I guess I didn't really do enough research before I played Xenoblade 2 because I had no idea she would join your party. So that
I
was
think they didn't want you to at first, though, so you
Hmm.
probably did it right.
okay.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair, like, Morag and honestly the Mor Ardains are kind of introduced to be antagonists
Mm-hmm.
at the very
Mm-hmm.
beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, um, yeah,
That's
I don't think you expect her to join you or they intend for you to.
Yeah, especially like they go very hardcore after anyone who has been in contact with the Aegis because they fear that this is gonna be dangerous depending on who's
yeah.
wielding it.
Yeah.
So yeah, at first it's very offensive, but then it's very much like, they're actually interesting. I'm gonna watch over them.
Yeah. I don't remember if Morag was shown in initial trailers for Xenoblade 2.
I don't fully remember either. It's been ages, and I did not watch a lot of them either until like the last minute. So
She plays such a big role, especially like as an early game antagonist, that I'm pretty sure she was at least like briefly shown in that first trailer.
Right, but I don't think she was shown as like a party member.
No,
Mm-hmm.
no,
no,
definitely
not
Because
as a
not.
like
party
I think I
member.
remember
So
Zeke being shown as a party member, at least in some promo art, but I don't remember if Morag was shown.
yeah, to be honest, I was not following the news nearly as
Me
crazy
neither.
back then. So like, I don't know what came up in news before
Yeah.
what at the time. I just know I screamed whenever they showed Cosmos the day before the release.
All right, so the 5 people listening to this episode, let us know if they actually showed Morag in promo info before the game came out,
Or
because I
Yeah.
don't
perhaps we'll
remember.
just watch the trailer after we record this and then add it. And I don't know.
Really, that's what we should do, but I'm not going to do
That's
Okay.
too
that.
much. That's too much work.
Too
Too
much
much
Okay.
work.
work indeed.
People yell at us. People yell at us. XenoChat at
More,
Sorry
gmail.com.
guys, we're
I'm tired,
lazy.
man. It's been a long day at work. I'm tired.
more fun if
Same.
Make us do
if the
better.
fan base screams at us.
But another thing about Morag that was pretty cool is that she, I mean, like from her clothing to her demeanor, she comes off rather masculine, and I thought that was really neat that they
Yeah,
kind of
like not
yeah.
many games will introduce characters like that
Yeah.
are this masculine while being like a female. Like most of the time, even if they're like a high ranking officer of some kind, they're still gonna make like a more, you know, weird take on the uniform to make it look a bit like spicy.
Mhm.
But like with Morag, no, she's just covered head to toe like an actual soldier, and I think really amazing.
I appreciate that because nothing pisses me
Same.
off more when they're saying, you have high defense and you're wearing literally a bra and a bikini.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
that makes sense. You're
mentality
going to
of
get stabbed in the
MMOs.
gut and protect
See,
what?
But
I
also
guys,
an
how else will we
evade
sell
take,
our
though.
game?
see. Here's the thing. Here's how I feel about that. I have a soft spot for like bikini armor, but at the same time, I also wish they would do that to the male characters too, and they won't, and that makes me sad.
True, it's like
Yeah,
if
I'm
you
with
do
that.
it
I'm with
on
you.
one side, do it for the other too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
I'm very much with Justin on this. Like, I think that if we're going to get bikini armor, we should also have Pillarmen armor.
Yeah.
yes, the Pillar Men. I love it.
Question. Well, not question. Comment rather. To answer your questions, just because I was curious. The trailer from 2017, the official one. I don't know when exactly this aired, but we get a
Probably
clip
E3.
of Rex fighting Morag, but not
Not her as a party member.
her as a
See, that's
party
what I was
member.
thinking. That's
That's
what
what I was thinking too. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if they showed her like as an antagonist, but I don't remember if they showed her as a party member.
Yeah, like the early Gormat stuff, most likely.
And going back to
Wow, they showed Tantal.
her being masculine, I like if you listen to her in Japanese, she's got a very much deeper, more masculine voice than the English version. I thought that
Yeah,
was
I
really
played the
cool as
game
well.
in Japanese mostly, and
Mhm.
yeah, her voice in Japanese is very deep. I love it. But yeah,
And I also like that they didn't go too hard. Like, they didn't make too many jokes about that in the game.
I felt like they treated her pretty respectfully.
Yeah.
yeah, they did.
That one heart to heart aside, the
Mhm.
hot springs one.
Are you talking? Oh,
Yeah.
are you talking about why don't you die in a fire, Zeke?
That has one of the best lines in the game, but outside of that, like, I don't think they went too hard into that, which is
No.
good. Which is really good.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
Because the last thing we need is for that sort of thing to become a
Oh.
punchline.
Exactly.
Oh, are we talking? Yeah, that's right. It was also that part where Tora gets confused about
Right, because
yeah,
yeah,
Tora genuinely apparently doesn't know.
does not realize Morag is female.
Yeah.
yeah. Because I think for like he said for the null pawns or something, they see who's a female or a male through clothing or something
Well,
like
Zeke was the
that.
one who made that comment because he was like trying to understand where Tora was coming from.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So yeah, Tora was confused about things.
Doesn't take much.
And then Zeke did a joke, and
Yeah, no
Morag wanted to
kidding.
kill him, basically.
Yeah, because Zeke made that comment. He's like, "Oh, Morag, why don't you wear some skirt and some high heels?" And Morag's like, "Go die in a fire."
Uh,
How about you die in a fire, Zeke?
best.
Like I said, it's a great line, but I think that's one of the few moments where I believe they kind of made a joke about it.
Yeah, I don't remember them really bringing it up after that, which is good.
Though I'm sure
Yeah.
there's gonna be somebody listening to it saying, actually, dear, where's that one heart to heart where they made a joke about it? So this game is terrible."
And that's perfectly fine. Please keep listening.
I know, right? We could use the metrics.
Okay,
Yeah.
so like, I just watched another trailer. Again, they show Zeke as like a potential party member. They show Morag as a villain, and they spoiled the Pyra turning into Mithra cutscene. And I'm like, why would you?
See,
Anyway,
I didn't even notice
Yeah,
that
but
whenever I
out
played
of
the game,
context, we were just like,
and I'd
Oh.
seen all the
"Huh,
trailers.
that's interesting. That's very Xeno," but we didn't really catch on for the rest, so
If
it was fine at the time. I did see that trailer back then.
I've been
also it's
paying
kind
more
of
attention to
wild.
this recently because we've all been playing a lot of Xenoblade 3, and I actually was thinking about like the trailer more this time because just thinking back to it more in terms of that, and you don't like yeah, people are always suspect it, but and it's true they do put a lot of spoilers in there, but until you hear them in context, they don't really work that way. But
Yeah.
once
Yeah,
you
pretty
get there, you'll
much.
be like, oh, they spoiled it, but did they? Because like they
In a
may
way,
have
it makes you more curious about it, and then you're just like, Okay, but I want to know more. I want to know the context behind this.
Yeah, those trailers are like super carefully crafted to where you do not really know. Like, it will be a spoiler, but it won't because you have no clue what the context behind it is, and they do actually a pretty good job of doing that. Like,
Yeah.
I've I'm at the end of Xenoblade 3 and I'm hearing lines that were in the trailer just now at like the end of the last chapter.
I'm not surprised.
Okay.
But yeah, if it's out of context, you don't really know exactly what's going on, so it's
Yeah,
fine.
and it's the same thing here. It's like
Yeah.
I totally forgot about Mithra in the trailer whenever I was playing the game. Like, it did not even come to mind.
I remembered it, but at the same time, I was like, I don't know what happens for it to happen, you know. So it was more of a, I wonder when that's gonna happen, and why she turns like this, you know.
All right. Well, let's get back to Mor Ardain.
Yeah.
Shall we talk about Morag's wife? I mean, Blade Bridget.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Um,
She's
Only if
so
we get to
cool.
also. Well, we can bring this up later. I do. We do need to bring up Morag's cooking antics, though. At some point, is all I'm saying.
I believe I saw it briefly written somewhere
I did make a
earlier.
note about that side quest.
Yeah.
It's a good one. It's a good one. That's
But
good.
yeah, Bridget is pretty cool, and I always love how whenever Morag is not looking, she does little hearts behind her back.
Yeah.
It's really cute.
The one thing about Bridget that always bothered me, and this is just me, that she never opens her eyes.
Except for that one cutscene.
She
That's
opens
that's
them
just
doesn't.
an anime
once.
trope.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
And I'm
an
like,
anime
how
trope of
can you
like
see?
But
the
when
thing
she
is
opens
these
her
characters. It's
eyes,
not
I
these
kind of
characters.
like that though because it's like when she opens her eyes, you know shit's about to go down.
Yeah,
mm-hmm,
but honestly,
mm-hmm.
these characters usually I don't think it's because their eyes are necessarily closed. It's just they're so kindly like open that they're kind of looking like they're closed.
So
But
this is a weird
So she's
thing, like a
constantly
weird.
squinting, is what you're saying.
She's
Yeah,
basically Brock.
basically,
she's
She,
very,
yeah,
what is it, nearsighted?
she's she's supposed to be the demure character. She's always got her eyes like squinted or like she's looking down so you can't see her eyes. It's that kind of thing.
it's to add it's to add an extra thing of like a mystery or wisdom. I feel like whenever they do these characters,
Yeah,
but
there's a character in East 9. It's a doll that does this exact same thing,
yeah,
although that's
and
actually kind of a cool case where they work around it
she's
by like
actually a bit more mysterious and stuff like that. So,
yeah.
like most of the time, these characters have personalities very similar to what Bridget has.
Yeah.
Well, and one thing that I really like about Bridget too is that she, like, a big reoccurring theme in the game is losing your memory when you become a core crystal again, and she
Yes.
I
kept,
love that part, yeah.
like, this was done before Torna, that she mentioned that she had a notebook or a diary and she writes down, each day what happens. So when it came back again through Torna, and like when Jin found that book, I'm like, dude, that's deep. But
That and
yeah,
there's
Yeah,
like a
it
late
is. And like
game
she
cutscene or
actually
like
tries to know, like she actually tries to confirm some facts as well with the Mitra
yeah,
later as
yeah, there's the
well. And
late
I
game
think
heart to heart with Mithra.
I think that's pretty cool is so also, but yeah, I think Mitra did try to lie on something though, but then Virgin was like, "That's not what's written in my book."
yeah, that's right. That was when they were sparring against each
Yeah,
other, I believe.
exactly.
Yeah.
They were
She's like, did
arguing
I
about
beat you?
one.
No, you didn't. But it's in my book this way. Well, too bad. Like, yeah.
I also wanted to comment on like just in terms of like Bridget's design, I think she has like one of the most unique hairstyles I've ever seen.
Yeah, her
Like
hairstyle is really cool.
Her
it
hair's
is
on
real.
fire.
Yeah, it's like
Literally.
she's got like these almost like
Princess Leia buns.
yeah, like ones on the side that are that are like flaming, and then she's got long hair in the back. Usually you don't get both, but they were like, no, we'll put both hairstyles together.
And
And
just to make it more epic, put it on fire.
Fire.
well, she's a blade,
No,
so
yeah.
yeah. But honestly, I was a little confused by one part of her design at first. And it was like the markings on her forehead. I thought were like eyebrows at first, and then I was like, oh wait, no, she has eyebrows too.
Yeah.
Eyebrows for her eyebrows.
Eyebrows for her eyebrows.
Those
Will it be a
eyebrows.
That's funny.
quad brow?
Yeah, it's a quad brow.
Yeah, no. I really liked Bridget, and I know I mentioned it in the notes, but Morag does get another blade. She gets Aegeon when Neil dies before being resurrected again by Nia. Because Aegeon, my understanding is that that blade is for the Emperor and the Emperor only, as like kind of like a bodyguard, personal bodyguard to the Emperor. And when Niall, whatever the heck you say his name, when he died, it went back to the core crystal, and
And
when
yeah,
Nia brought him back, he's like, "Here, you take him," and yeah,
yeah, I thought that was really cool. Like, he just was like, like I don't feel like I'm worthy of him. I'm like, you should bring him with you. He's gonna be useful in your
young
travels and
Padawan, please
stuff.
take this with you on your journey. Yep.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're really bringing Star Wars references into this episode, huh?
I'm sorry. I recently did watch what was it? Obi-Wan. I do apologize.
Gotcha. It's no, I was mostly messing, but also it was worth it to hear you say sorry.
Was that a hiss?
I think so.
That is a hiss. It's a new microphone. It picks up all my weird sounds.
Good.
Sorry.
Which I like Aegeon's design. I kind of wish there was more to him because he doesn't really do
Yeah.
much in the main game. He does a little bit more in Torna, but
Yeah,
I
I
still
think he
thing
wanted
did a
is,
lot more of him in
more.
Florida.
he's very quiet,
Mhm.
but I do wish that he would have a bit more screen time because I think he has a very wholesome personality still, but
Mhm.
we
Yeah, I
just
like
don't
how
see
like
much of
sweet and
it.
wholesome he is, despite like him looking
Well,
kind of creepy.
in the defense of the game, he did just lose his memories and became a core crystal again. So he is starting
Mhm.
out fresh by the time we get him on our party, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mhm.
pretty
yeah, he
much.
does.
Yeah.
So if he has no personality, that might be why he hasn't built it yet.
I
No,
think
but
he's just
like,
got a very reserved personality in general
yeah, he
because
has
like
a
a lot of
more.
core
It's
crystals come back and they have a personality.
they have a personality when they come back. It's just their memory is wiped, but they have like
Some
a
sort of
base
personality.
personality.
Yeah.
It's just that it can change depending on the owner over time and depending on their experience. But like overall, like I think he's just very reserved.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think he has a lack of personality by any means. I think he's just a more reserved type of
And that's why he
personality.
Yeah.
doesn't speak a whole lot, but at the same time, that also makes so he does not have that much of a screen time. Even when he's
Yeah.
on screen, he's just sitting in the
Ye-
background looking at stuff.
Yeah, he
Yeah, my
doesn't have
problem
a whole
isn't
lot of
his.
plot weight.
Yeah, that was my problem. Not his personality, but more that we don't get more of him.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Although he does look like he has liquid coolant running through his veins, so that's all right.
He
Monster
looks really
energy drinks
cool.
tied
I
to
love him.
Yeah,
his little tentacle
He's a pretty
hairs.
useful
That's right.
blade too.
he's
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah, he is really good.
Yeah, I like him. I know he gets some shit from some folks because a lot of people will be like, haha, he looks like a common blade. Who cares about him? But I like him.
If he
Oh.
looks like a common blade, then he is the king of the common blades.
Yes.
Yeah, it's probably mostly because of his face. Like he has like the whited out eyes and all that kind of stuff going on, like a lot of those have, or like all of those have anyway.
Yeah.
So like I get the comparison, but
I
he's
get it too, but like it's still very different in a way.
you
And way
can't
more
have it one way, you
detailed.
can't have it the other. It's either over designed or it's not designed enough.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think it was the artist, like one of the artists of Fire Emblem that did this one, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he even
Yeah.
has like Crom's pose.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah.
I
Oh
think it
yeah,
was the same artist that did the art for Awakening.
yeah. They also did Agat, which is
Did you
huh,
just say agot and not agate?
I don't know. I've heard it pronounced so many different ways.
I will say agate, named after the actual rock.
Yeah, I usually say
I
agate.
figured, and her ability, agate. Oh yeah,
That makes
it's definitely
sense.
pronounced agate because you can
Yeah, I see
hear
that now.
the characters say her name.
That's
But
right. I
also,
couldn't remember, honestly.
yeah, I used agate in my playthrough. She was like my trusty sidekick because like I didn't
Agate.
have a whole lot of axe blades, and she was pretty clutch throughout the whole game, especially when when plot related characters got removed from the party. Like agate was my go-to.
Yeah. So yeah.
I think she was my first rare blade.
I think you. Yeah, I think it was actually. I remember you saying that
Yeah,
before.
agate was my first rare blade. I'm like 99% sure.
So yeah, Aegeon and Agate, designed by Yusuke Kozaki. Oh wait, it was Agate? I think it was. Anyway, the illustrator for Fire Emblem Awakening and Fates, and more importantly, No More Heroes. Uh,
Oh, it's the same illustrator? I didn't know that.
yes, it is
That would
actually.
That's
explain
pretty cool.
so much why agate looks like a Fire Emblem character.
Hmm.
She
Yes.
looks like straight up like the war cleric. Like she looks like if she were a Fire Emblem character, she would be a war cleric from Awakening.
Interesting.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Let's see. We've already kind of touched on Niall a little bit. I do like how he kind of looks up to Morag.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, you trust her.
Mm-hmm.
And I also do love how like Morag loves him very much, and like whenever the thing happened and she loses all of her cool for like probably the first time in the game. I think it was the first time in the game she actually lost her cool because he was not okay.
He died.
Yeah,
I
they.
know. I was trying to not say it.
I mean, it's okay at this point. The game's been out for like what 7
Well,
years.
I
well,
was trying
we've
to
al-
stay.
we've al- we've
If
already
you're listening to
said
this
it, but
podcast, we
And you
are a
haven't played
spoiler heavy
2. Yeah.
cast. I mean, it's
we
not
I
like
still try to be like
B
more
B already mentioned
subtle
it
about
earlier, so
devs
it's fine.
sometimes.
It's
that.
fine.
But
Like the
yeah,
point of this
Go
whenever
on.
podcast is deep dives.
Go
So
on.
whenever he dies, I guess.
He came back to life. It's all
Yes.
good.
Okay.
He
Yeah. Go on.
So,
he came back.
He comes back to life and like it's just like all super emotional and like Morag is like super happy that he's okay at the end, but I think she was also really confused, but I think everyone was kind of
Well,
confused.
that was the first time that Nia kind
Yeah.
of publicly,
Well,
showed that she
she
was
did not
Well,
afraid.
show anything. She told them go after the bad guys and like
Yeah.
I'll
Well,
I'll
I kind of
I'll
suspected
take care of
after.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like, look over there. Okay, I'm gonna bring him back.
look over there.
Look there, a rat. And then
Well, it's surprising how well that worked on them, though, in that scene.
we're all a
Yeah.
little gullible, right?
Imagine
That-
they would have come back like a few seconds too early and she would still be in her honor form. uh,
I heard something over here. Please go this way while I wait here. Yeah.
yeah.
Also, I thought I had, for some reason, I know he was young anyway, but also I thought I had heard that I can't remember this completely, but was there like any word in the game of him having like a weak constitution? Because I thought there was something like about that.
I think I vaguely remember
Does
something
anybody
like
remember that?
that, but
Don't
I'm not
remember.
sure.
Okay, I'm probably wrong. Sorry.
I can't. I can't remember, to be honest.
Like I don't know. I for some reason
But
I'm
I don't think he
thinking
was
that.
really, really strong. Like he
Well,
was
he was a
often
kid
inside and
too, but
stuff, but
yeah. I thought there was like some like allusion to him
yeah.
having like a weak constitution in
But
general,
I
and I
don't
can't
he
remember.
didn't seem to be
he
a
just wasn't a
fighter
fighter.
either. So
Yeah, maybe that's all it was. Maybe that's
yeah.
all it
He
was.
just doesn't, you could tell like that's the
Well, yeah.
great thing about the Emperor of Mor Ardain that like completely took me by surprise when I played this game for the first time. You have this militaristic state that is portrayed as the bad guy. Like they're about to go to war with Uriah, and like not looking good, and a lot of like negativity is put on Mor Ardain. So me as the player, I'm thinking, oh man, or early game, my simplistic mind is thinking, oh man, the Emperor of Mor Ardain's probably gonna be like a major boss in this game. He's gonna be like this terrible, horrible like tyrant and shit like that. And then I see it's a little kid, and not only that, but like he's a cinnamon roll. Like he's actually just a really sweet guy in a very difficult position, and and his relationship with Morag is he leans on her like she is his rock. Like anytime he does not have the strength for something, that's where he goes. And she is very much like leadership and emperor material, but she she doesn't take that position because she knows that he's better suited for it because of his like gentle nature. And that's something I really, really, really love about this game in particular, is because it took everything that I was expecting and threw it out the window and gave me the exact opposite, and it worked. It worked so damn well. And rant.
Yeah.
No, it's good. Good
Yeah.
read. Good read on it.
And I'll take that as a segue. There is uh, what I really liked about Morag is that when she likes a character or person, she really puts all her trust and faith into that character. So if we look at Rex, like Rex shared that he wants to go to the world tree to bring Mithra to Elysium. And she's like, "Yeah, you know what? I trust you. I respect you. I'm going to support you. Let's do it." And I really liked about um that relationship there is that she really took what Rex was saying and agreed with his values, and they worked together, with as first enemies and but then as really close allies and friends. And I really like that change in the relationship.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. It was a good part.
Yeah, I agree. I
Yes.
I like her character. You could say a lot about her. Like she's very reserved. She keeps a lot. Keeps the cards very close to the chest. But when you do see her emote, when you do see her, like she has the prettiest smile in the whole game. I will die on that hill. Morag's smile is totally heartwarming, and
Yes, it is.
it's such a treat when you see it, because she doesn't smile all that often.
And it's genuine.
And it is genuine, yes. She doesn't smile that often because she's very good at hiding what she's feeling, because she's an officer. She's trained to keep those emotions close to the chest.
Yeah, and I remember there was some times where yeah, she had some interactions where she would show a bit more emotions, but I think that would be a bit more of another character that's a bit further down the list. But yeah, like she's being told basically how I think she's being told like you should like try to open up more, but she's like it's difficult for me or something of the sort. I don't fully remember, but I do remember there was an interaction with that, like along with Zeke, I believe. I think it was Zeke that was telling her that. If I remember correctly, it's been a while. But yeah, I really love like how Morag is like serious, but like at the same time is super sweet inside.
Mhm.
um,
And on the subject of Nile, remember the part where you have to steal Nile's underwear?
oh my
Yes.
Oh
god.
my god! And she doesn't say anything.
You can apparently make. Oh yeah, that's right. If you don't pass the field skill with Boreas, you can make her steal it instead.
Oh my god.
I think that's
for
what
a burgle off to get back Boreas's dumb food stash.
I think that's what I did. I think I had her steal his underwear.
Oh my
I
god.
think I forgot all about that, or I didn't
I
do
wanted
it.
to
I don't know
forget.
which.
I just
I know
really
I did it, but I had to I had to remind myself of how far it went with it, and I was like, oh yeah, it did do that, huh? Yeah,
Yep, they did go that far.
Mhm.
uh,
sick ass thief, disgusting. No, anyway.
let's see.
It was just a messed up quest to begin with.
I mean, I'm sure that the underwear is just as fancy as the description says. I mean, he is
Yeah.
the emperor.
supposedly it's nowhere near as messed up as Florin's, but I still don't understand why. And probably never will.
Well,
Well, this episode's not about Florence, so
Yeah, thankfully.
yeah.
Because I know y'all got a
So
lot to say about that character.
please see our queer theory episode for more details. Um.
Future
Anyway,
episode.
no, we already recorded that one.
No, I meant a Florin one.
Oh no,
No, the
yeah, that's
no.
not
titled
happening.
the episode you turn off.
That's not happening.
Let's. Yep. Just go to our queer theory episode for that.
Yeah,
Anyway,
we covered it.
let's talk about well, how about Morag's relationship with Zeke? I'm kind of jumping around, but I know more about Zeke and Morag than I
Yeah.
do Zeke and Nia. Because
Zeke and Nia? You mean Morag
Zeke's
and
an
Nia?
idiot.
oh my god, I'm so sorry, Morag and Zeke. Because yeah, Zeke, yeah, as B said, is an idiot. I know
He's
some
an
people.
idiot that's not that idiot. Like, he's actually smart, but he doesn't show it.
Yes,
I think I've mentioned in previous podcasts that I would love to throw a shoe in his face. I do not like Zeke.
yeah,
I'll
He's the
Morag.
kind of
catch
guy.
that
He likes
too
to
because
stir the pot.
I don't want
Yeah,
him to
he
be
does.
hurt, so I'll
Yes.
catch it.
Yeah, like I don't know if I'd say Zeke's an idiot so much as he likes to stir the pot. Like
Yeah,
in that one cuts, like in the heart to heart that I mentioned earlier, he's obviously messing with Morag because he knows like how Tora is just completely clueless. He's just like, you know what, I'm gonna mess with her and tease her about this.
Yeah, and to keep with the theme of Star Wars tonight, Zeke reminds me of Jar Jar Binks, and I hate it.
Wow, I
See,
not
now
a.
here's the
He
next
is.
do
controversial
not
take. I
understand that one.
like I would take Jar Jar Banks 100 times before I take Zeke. I just really don't like Zeke that much because
Wow.
Wait, is
All this
someone
Zeke
agreeing
Nick
with
hate.
me?
yes,
Oh my
I agree with
god.
you
This is gonna
100%.
turn
Do
to
He
we-
a
never
debate.
at
do
any
we-
point in the game was like, "Ha, I like Zeke."
Do we need to
No.
have a debate episode for Zeke?
Yes,
Oh,
Apparently
Wow,
okay,
I
B and I
never
teaming up
expected
again.
this.
that's right. We're teaming up again.
I
Well-
will say, like there's a few things that Zeke says in the game that I'm like, don't know about that one, bud. But overall, like, I'm very surprised. I didn't think.
I just like him because he's very like hot-headed and like just dumb
He
and
likes
does
to
JoJo
get
poses, and I love it.
He likes to get under the skin, and he does that with a Morag.
Well,
I like that he's
just-
mostly just a silly goofball.
I kind of like their dynamic because they just feel like bros to me. Like they're
Yeah.
good
Pretty
bros.
much. Like they it feels like more like almost as if they were sibling, but not really. But like they were just like teasing each other.
I mean, they can
Kinda.
connect with each other because
Yeah.
like they're both essentially royalty, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
pretty much.
Mhm.
And
Pretty
they're
much.
around the same age, and because of that, they also feel kind of like, in a weird sense, they feel like the group parents, but like not really. You know, like it feels like Zeke is like just the goofy dad character almost in some ways,
Yeah,
and
pretty much.
Morag is like actually takes care of shit.
Yeah, but I also like that Morag does respect him in the way of like I respect his strength. Like you know whenever the whole party was making fun of Zeke because of the couple encounters you had with him in the past, and then like Morag's just like, yeah, I'm gonna sit out of this one, and it's just like Z turns serious, and he actually like kicks the butt of the party, and the party's just like, what? I really
Yeah.
love that section, and I love how Morag was just like, yeah, like he's actually really strong, guys. But
Yeah, I mean, it,
I
it
I, I kind of love their relationship. Honestly, they feel a bit like the parents of the group, where like Zeke is a bit more of the comic relief, trying to ease the atmosphere, while like Morag is a bit more of a, trying to help as well.
yeah,
But Zeke also gives
mutually
some
enforced a little bit.
decent advice sometimes. I feel like they both try to support the party with
Yeah,
their
Zeke
the
has those
fact that they're both a
moments.
bit more
Yeah,
mature, a bit more like Zeke may be dumb, but like inside he's actually pretty mature. And I feel like both him and Morag often like will have this relation where they feel like something's off with the group, and it's as
Mhm.
if like they were giving themselves like an eye contact, being like, yeah, we need to do something about this. Almost.
partially part of like how they're both like older than the rest of than
Yeah,
well
pretty
than
much.
a lot of the group anyway.
But
There's
they
like this there's like this wisdom that comes with that they
Yeah,
both
but I
have.
also love that like it feels like they don't have to communicate a lot to know what they have to do whenever the party's in trouble, as in like let's say the party's not feeling too well, like I feel they don't have to communicate a whole lot to be like, okay, we need to do this XYZ to help them like gain their morale again.
Yeah,
So I think that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool relationship they have. It's as if they can read in each other's mind and know exactly what to do to bring back the party on track.
That being said, I do like Zeke and Morag's interactions.
I really like
However,
them too.
one thing I don't get is and this is gonna be kind of a tangent since this episode's not about this. I don't understand why people ship them.
I knew that was where
I
you were
had a
We knew it was
going.
feeling it was
coming.
going there.
And
Yeah,
we're not going to talk about it for long at all. It's just that's like of all the ships in this game, that's the one that always seems to irk me the most.
What Zeke and Morag?
Yeah,
I that's like saying, hold on a minute. I need to find an equally absurd analogy. Give me a minute. No, nothing's coming to mind. It's that absurd. I can't think of an equatable analogy.
it's
How do you how
People
do you
I
sometimes
see
ship
that?
basically on
Talk
interactions
about
that
reaching.
works well
no, for
together,
the purposes they serve in
but
the group. I see how people make that.
yeah, I can see how they do it. But at the same time, I think I think I would see it more as a like they're just the two adults of the party, and that's why they kind of understand each other well. They understand what they have to do.
Yeah, like it's not it's kind of I do feel like it's kind of reaching for sure, but
yeah,
I get why people
I
do it.
think so too.
That's
But
Yeah,
anyways,
reach.
let's move on from
I
that.
get where it comes from, but yeah,
I just let to put
Like
that out
I
there.
don't that's the funny thing. Like if we're going to talk about Morag shipping at all, she doesn't really read as the type that's romantically interested in anyone. Not even like I get the joke of calling Bridget her wife, but like she doesn't really even seem to be all that interested in Bridget. Like she just doesn't read as somebody who has romance on the brain. She's very focused on the
Mhm.
task at hand and doesn't.
That said, Bridget really have Morag in their heart this way, I believe. Like she even throws hard at her. But
Morag is married to the job.
yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much.
that's a great way to put it, Nick. Morag very much is married to the job and married to her duties as the Special Inquisitor. And
And I think they make it fairly clear that like I felt like it was pretty clear that Pandoria like while she is like kind of while she doesn't like hold back in insulting him, of course, for very good reasons a lot of most of the time. Yeah, like I it does feel like she is kind of into Zeke anyway, so
Yeah, I think Pandoria and Zeke is a better ship
Just
because they
sometimes
they
Zeke
already
needs more than one
they
person
already
to
feel like
handle
they're
his
together,
BS.
to be honest.
Yeah.
And they're just as goofy and on sync. So
Okay. Well, ships
Yes.
aside,
Yes. Let's
let's
move along.
let's move along.
Yeah, that
Everyone,
went
ships are valid.
way more off track than I thought it was going to.
That's why I didn't want to talk about it for long.
Well, good
Next.
job, we didn't.
well, we did not do Nya. Should we come back to Nya?
Yeah, go ahead. I don't know
I
how.
don't remember anything, and
I
I don't
don't
need
remember either.
talk.
That's why I skipped it. So someone else,
Well,
please
it's
speak.
just they did not have like that many interactions. I feel like as in like alone interactions goes, but I think Morag is still very thankful because she did save like she did save Nyal, and like yeah,
Yeah, I
Nyal
was
is
just
pretty
about
much
to
her
ask,
world.
like, was there ever? Sorry for cutting you off. I was just about to
It's okay.
ask, was there ever a heart to heart with Morag and Nia where they talk about that?
I
Honestly, don't remember.
I
It's
I
been so
remember
long.
I remember a heart to heart where they where don't they kind of discuss how um like the relations between Mor Ardain and Gormont a little bit, and
I think you're right.
Nia's a little, I don't want to say bitter about it, but a little upset about it, and they kind of talk through it together.
I believe they may do it, but like it's been so long, I don't fully remember.
That's the
Uh,
one big thing I remember between those two, and then otherwise I can't. Besides, the Nile thing.
but yeah, I think I do vaguely remember that thing. And wasn't Mori like apologizing for the her country doing that or something like that? At
That
some point, I don't fully remember. To be
that
honest, it's been
might have
so
been one of
long.
the choices you could make.
Yeah, yeah. I did find that there was a video on YouTube, but like it's almost 7 minutes, so I'm gonna not do that.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
listeners,
too
we're
long to find
sorry.
it.
We're terrible at our jobs. Please educate us.
Uh, but it's just like it's one of the characters that Morag had a lot lesser interactions. At least like main story wise, I feel
Mm-hmm.
like they had way less interactions together. Like maybe there's a few like side things that happens, but like I feel like
I feel
on
like
screen interactions there wasn't that many between the two.
I'm gonna preface this by saying I'm probably wrong, but if my memory is not gaslighting me like I think it is, I feel like Nia and Morag have a heart to heart at the cliffs of Moritha, but I could be completely mistaken.
It's
uh,
possible. I just don't
it's
remember.
possible. I don't remember
It
where it
must
was,
not
but there is
be.
one.
It
Yes.
must not be very groundbreaking if we all can't remember.
Well, that or
To
it
be
being
honest
a
with you,
heart
most
to
of the
heart,
heart
there
to
is a
hearts really
chance
weren't all
that
that
some of us
groundbreaking.
missed it
Yeah,
potentially as
because the
well.
heart to heart can be missed as well, so it's hard to remember which
Yeah.
one we did and which one we may not have done.
That said, I'm
Well,
actually surprised at how in depth the heart to heart lists on the wiki are in some ways. It's just like everything. It's some of them even have voice recordings. Wow.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
yeah. All
But
right.
no, I've looked through more than half the list and I'm not seeing one specifically centered on just Morag and Nia so
I did
far.
see a video, so it exists, but
Yeah.
All right.
I
Then
am
shall
sure
we
it
go
does.
on? Unless there's something else someone wants to throw in there that they can remember.
I
Well, I
don't
mean,
think
like,
so.
have we talked about Bridget yet? We've talked about Bridget,
Yes.
right?
Yes,
Yes.
Yes,
we
we did.
have.
Okay. I
Yeah.
want to throw in on just with Bridget and just like comment how incredibly essential to the overall plot of Xenoblade 2 Bridget is. Like she's introduced as this character that feels like she's going to be like a villain, um and that there's not going to be a whole lot of weight to her at first, but like the more you go into that game, the more like vital based on her interactions with Mithra and and how she was smart enough to come up with the notebook idea so she could basically remind herself of things from her past lives is genius. And I just think that like Bridget's like presence in the story to me is arguably just as impactful, if not maybe more so than Morag's.
Yeah. So to go back to the heart to heart thing, there is you were right. There is one specifically between Nia and Morag about the motivations behind them invading Gormott. That is actually I actually just found it again. And I was like, "Yep, that was true. That actually did happen."
Hooray!
And where is that
Woo.
heart to heart?
It is okay. So the ground beneath our feet. It is located on one of the turret platforms on the western wing of the upper level of Hardhive Palace. Hardhigh. I forget how it's pronounced. Palace area overlooking Alba Cavendish. The discussion
Oh,
centers
right.
on Ardainian's motivation for invading Gormott province. If the party stays at Jackalow's Inn beforehand, Nia and Morag may engage in conversation that hints to this heart to heart's location. And basically starts out with Nia asking Morag about like
Yes, I
a
remember
place with a
this.
good view of the town, and it going into them like going and having this talk, basically talking about how like their technology is so much more advanced than Gormott's, and just asking her things about Nia asking Morag things about Mor Ardain and their motivations and such,
Yeah.
which we all know dying Titan trying to get a piece of the not dying Titan,
Hmm.
obviously. So
Yup.
Thank you, Nick.
yeah, no
Yes,
problem.
thank
I was
you for
trying to do
finding it.
check that out real fast but I had to like go through every single heart to heart. It was like the second from the bottom of the
Oh
list.
wow.
Uh, but yeah, like Nia is just kind of like at a loss for words upon finding the answer to to what she comes up with her evading, and that's where you get to like make a dialogue choice of like, oh, you realize there was a better way, or all because of this dumb pride. And she will respond, it looks like fairly similar, but just different enough ways. Of course, these usually
Yeah.
don't branch out just a whole lot. But Nia brings up that the two governments could have talked and like worked together to help Moradane
Hmm.
rather than destroy Gormott to do so.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah,
Um, we did already speak about Rex, right? Yes, I believe
Yes.
we did. So now next one would be Poppy and Tora, which aside from that memeable Tora confused about gender, I don't know. They do have some interactions, but again, it's I feel like it's nothing like super close, but there may have been some moments though where Morag did give them advice a bit, but I'm not entirely sure. It's been so long.
Yeah, well, didn't they have like a heart to heart in Temperantia, maybe?
Yeah, I believe they did at some point. God. But it's another character she does not, or two characters that she does not interact a whole lot with. Maybe a bit more with Poppy, but like I don't feel like it's super like on screen during main story. They're not always interacting directly since Morag is more. I feel like Morag in those interactions is often a bit more like observing rather than talking.
Hmm.
But I feel like there was a couple interactions where she was trying to either teach or advise on stuff to them, but it's been so long. Like I think I would need to jog my memory. Do anyone else remember things about these two?
Nope.
Nope. It
No.
has been flushed from her mind.
I'm not going to answer because I was too busy paying attention to something else to know what we were talking about.
Oh, thank God!
Oh my
We're so
God.
glad you said it, Nick, because I.
Oh
I'm
my
right there
God.
with you.
I was still
Terrible.
reading hard to make sure I
Terrible.
didn't forget something. Is all. Sorry.
We are going to
We were
podcast.
talking about Morag and
Well,
and
if you're still in the heart to
Poppy.
heart, can you check if there's something with Poppy and Tora?
I can. Sorry, I was doing my homework.
You were doing your own work.
Listen, I didn't plan this way.
My cousin needs help with VLC Media Player and is trying to learn how to rip CDs using it, and I'm trying to teach him. I'm terrible.
Tell
I
him
know.
to go
guys,
in
it's
a time
a
machine back
podcast.
to the year 2000.
Who rips CDs anymore?
He's old. He's like in his, I think his 50s now.
Wow.
Wow.
You guys.
But yes, it's a podcast. It's not the time for this.
It's okay. It's right. I just think it's hilarious, and maybe reflects on Tora a little bit and Poppy and their relationship with Morag.
You
I'm
get some
trying to
really,
find
you
it,
get some really cute interactions. I feel like between Tora and Morag, that if I recall correctly, usually resulted in Morag threatening to skewer Tora, which was always like threats of violence against Tora was always funny to me.
Yes.
Okay.
He is just a big furry meatball after all.
He's a big fuzzy meatball. Yes, that's
Yeah, all I found is the
Yeah.
rub-a-dub-dub of heart to heart.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
And I
Yeah,
think you know which
we
one that
spoke about
is.
that one actually.
Yeah, we've already.
Yeah, we've already talked plenty about this one though, and I'm like, yeah, this is the Toro one.
Okay. Well, next up, I believe Justin, you would speak about this one about her
Let's-
relationship with Gord. Well, a moment from his quest.
Yeah, so that was pretty nice because like that's when he's trying to open a bakery and Morag helps out, and we are treated to Morag without her hat.
Morag without the hat. Hell yeah.
Yes.
And she's helping out in the kitchen. It's a really cute scene. Like her and
It is.
Bridget are there.
which
I
blade
also
is this
remember-
that's trying to open the bakery?
Gorg.
Gorg. Yeah,
Gorg.
Gorg is a baker.
Gorg.
Is Gorg Amanda? Did I get Gorg?
Gorg is the merman.
The what?
The merman.
I don't know if I got Gorg.
You didn't
Yes,
actually
you
play the
didn't get
game.
him.
Okay.
No, I did. I just got to refresh my memory. Okay, Gorg.
I mean, you can miss him.
Yeah, you can
Gorg
Google it.
is-
He looks like a JoJo character.
So I'm pretty sure he's just someone you can pull. I don't
Yeah, I
think
think he's
He's
just
a
a
rare.
pull.
Oh, I
Pull.
got Gorg.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got. I never used him much, but yeah,
Oh well.
I did.
That
get
must
him.
be why you did not see this moment, because you did not do the quest.
He was designed by Soraya Saga.
Yep.
Oh, cool. Oh yeah, illustrator Soraya Saga. I'm on the wiki. I am now going. You said hatless Morag, and now I'm going to Google image search that.
Also, that also reminds me of another heart to heart where Morag and Bridget are
Yes.
cooking in the
Yes,
Argentum Guild.
the disaster with the
Yes.
She
fish.
tries to. She can't cut up the whatever it was.
She
Was it
can't
a
cut the
fish?
fish
Can't
because she's
Yeah.
to
losing
save
it.
her life.
Oh, I remembered that scene. That was really funny. She gets like crazy intense about it, and then ends up like burning
Screaming.
the food and like lighting it on fire because she got stressed out. Oh
Yes.
yeah, that was a great.
Because she was
scene.
like, "Oh my god, it still moves," or something like that, or like, "It's looking at me."
And then it started. Then her freaking out started freaking out Bridget at this. But it was.
They both freak out, and they probably burned the whole kitchen
It
down.
was great. I love that.
Bridget, it's looking at me with those eyes and moving those lips, like it's accusing me of something. It's cursing me for taking its heart.
Real talk.
Heart so
It's
much.
moments like that that made Xenoblade 2 amazing. It's
Yeah,
little things
it's
like
something-
that really set that game apart.
Yeah, Xenoblade 2 is just so much more like light and like has a lot of like goofy interactions. And I think that's why I also It's
Till it
also my
isn't.
number one still. But that's it. I cannot judge 3 yet. I did not finish it. Like I'll
We will
judge it
save
fully
that
when I
for
finish
another
it.
podcast. The
But yeah,
judging. Da, da,
yeah, the
da.
The
judging.
judging.
The judging.
Da, da, da.
Judge B.
Oh, I have lots to say, but that's for another podcast.
Yeah.
Yes.
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 So I know Justin really wants to talk about this, but the gameplay side of like Morag.
Oh yeah. So Morag is a character that at first I wasn't quite sure what to do with. Now I can only play as her.
I feel like I want to add. I feel like this didn't, or at least maybe this was just me being Babby, but I feel like it didn't seem apparent that she was an agility tank at first to me
Yeah,
at the time.
I found the same. Like I switched between her and Tora, and then it took me a while to figure out that she was an agility tank. I'm like, why is this working better with okay. So yeah, it wasn't like slap in your face obvious, I found.
Yeah, like it was clear she was a tank. It just wasn't clear how it
What
worked
type?
with her to me
Yeah.
at first. I guess I don't know, but hey, when it clicks, it's like,
Yeah.
oh,
It's like, okay, now we're getting somewhere.
I
no block rate, just evade.
Exactly. Why reduce damage when you can just not take it?
Yeah,
she
Yeah,
never
does
left
pretty
that.
that.
much.
Once she joined my party, she never left it if I could at all help it, because
Me
just
too.
access to Bridget, and then also like Morag herself was my tank. Like I by sheer dumb luck, like the stars aligned. My party was Rex, Nia, and Morag, and Morag somehow managed to like pull nothing but tank like blades.
Oh, that must be nice because I
Oh,
on my second playthrough I pulled only healers for Morag. I'm like, friggin'
Ooh.
hell.
and Nia pulled nothing but healers. So I was like, "What? This is great." My, I
It's
didn't
so
realize
cool.
that things had worked out this way until like obviously I'd gotten a little bit into the game, but it was awesome because of this. Like I barely ever had to use Poppy.
Yeah, my main party was Rex, Morag, and Zeke later on. But Zeke also had Cosmos. So yeah. I was often playing Zeke just to basically indirectly play Cosmos.
I moved Cosmos to Morag.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would have done
I
that
loved
too.
her on Zeke. I thought it was good still.
I never got Cosmos.
I never did either.
But I mean,
Sad.
something tells me that Cosmos is so rare. She's the only other light blade that you get in the main game outside of Mithra, and
You also get if you got the DLC, you also get the
yeah, I was
short
gonna say like
hair
that's
boy
that's why I
and
threw in
Shulk.
base game because I
Yeah,
wasn't including DLC. But yeah, like that's got to be exceedingly difficult to pull.
That, and you can also make Cutie Pie a light blade if you get the right chip for her.
Yeah.
but
But
to be honest, Cosmos it depends. Like some people pull her fast, and a lot of others don't. But I feel like it depends on your luck. Really,
I've got
it took
yeah.
horrible
me a
luck when it
while,
comes to
but
gachos.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Corvin
But
was the other light blade, right?
Yep.
huh?
Yeah,
Corvin,
Corvin.
yeah.
Corbin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna get to Corbin.
Oh, okay. So
But yeah. So Morag, I had her as a tank in my party,
same.
but she used to kind of piss me off because I think it was during one of the Malos fights. There's a Malos fight where there's actually a unique monster in the same like battle arena, and she kept baiting him into that
aggro.
Oh, into the
and
hole.
into the hole.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck that entire fucking
So
arena, dude.
she kept doing that. So like that was kind of when I started realizing I need to like try to make sure to move her. But then at one point I started playing as Morag and I realized, hold on, I need to be the one controlling the tank in this party. And that's when I started to really like understand her. And her stats are really great because her agility stat is pretty high. And if you give her certain blades, she can get like really high agility and it could stack. And eventually, I got the DLC and I got Corbin. I used to have Shulk on her, and she does really well with Shulk, but Corbin is even better with her.
Corbin is crazy on
Corbin
her.
is insanely good.
What's
And
a Corbin?
he's the DLC blade.
He's the DLC
Oh,
blade.
DLC
He has,
blade.
like,
Okay, hang
The
on.
little boy with
I'm gonna-
the
He has, like,
very
the-
long feather
Yeah.
cape.
feather
Yeah.
scarf thing.
Baby
yeah.
Sephiroth.
Corbin.
Maybe
Sure.
Sephiroth.
But yeah,
Maybe
he's
Sephiroth that looks like a URTV.
yeah. She generally does really well with like the long swords, but like Corbin's in particular is really crazy because the first attack comes out really quickly. So if you try to do the movement cancel, you can do like a ton of hits in no time. So that's great. But then Corbin's level 3 gives you 6 guaranteed dodges on top of her already high agility stat. So if you take him and then you pair her up with like 2 5-star common blades, you can get her agility like well over 800 to the point where like even the super bosses just will not touch her.
That's
And it's
hilarious.
great. Like I've fought some super bosses, but they'll do their talent art, and you just see the word "miss" just fill all over Morag. You'll just see miss, 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 miss. Like that one boss, Cloud Sea King Ken. Now how he has that one move where he does a spin and it does like blowback on your entire party, and you have to just sit there and wait for your party to just get juggled to infinity.
All too well, yes.
Yep. Well, with Morag, at least the way I have her set up, she just straight up dodges the whole thing.
Yeah, I remember
Awesome.
there were some ways I found later to kind of cheat. It almost felt cheesy to sound Cloud
It's
King.
it's
Cheesing
so
it.
crazy with him. She also does really well with Shulk. I used to use Shulk on her for a long time, and it was kind of nice to like see her hold the Monado.
Yeah, she is such a
Yes, yes.
badass with the Monado. I love it.
Yes.
And I also
Monado's
liked
power.
using Newt on her as well because when Morag
Yeah, that's
does,
who I was going to bring up. I was
Yeah.
going to say I actually had good luck with Newt on her.
Newt's fun to use on her because whenever you do a blade combo, Morag does that Jotaro like pose.
Yes.
She like tilts the hat. So with Newt in particular, it's really funny because it's just straight up JoJo.
How do you spell
Yeah.
Newt's name?
N-E-W-T.
WT.
Exactly how you think.
N-E-W-T.
It's the military one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
With the big arms.
Yeah.
So that's really funny to do with Morag.
And the Kirby nightmare eye on the back of her head.
Yeah, she's just a lot of fun to play with, and I really enjoyed Morag. And Morag helped me understand the battle system a lot better. She helped me understand the potential of common blades. Funny enough, it's great.
They don't call her the Inquisitor for nothing.
Yeah, and I mean Bridget's also really good at Morag as well, because Bridget has an ability, if I'm not mistaken, where her attack goes up every time she dodges. So that's pretty good. Bridget she gets buffed every time she dodges. But the only problem with Bridget is that once you reach New Game Plus, she stops becoming as useful because like her attack stat just isn't high enough. So you can't really like I felt that when I was using Bridget as Morag, it could be because I was using her wrong. But I felt like in post game when I was using Bridget, I wasn't dealing enough damage to keep aggro on Morag.
Yeah.
Because like unfortunately she had more like say Morag and maybe Tora on the party, they can compete for aggro, and that's not always a good thing.
Yeah, it's not always a good thing.
Yeah.
Or like what can also happen is if like let's say you're somebody who likes to have all the ether cannons on Zeke, what could happen is Zeke could do a big move and then soak up all the aggro, and then he just dies right away.
Yeah.
I did kind of have that problem with Zeke,
No.
where I'm like, wow, I have way too many ether cannons on Zeke, but also it's cool.
It's kind of
Yeah.
why I loved I love like controlling Zeke more, because a lot of my very powerful attack blades were on him, and I could also control the healing of the party because I had Cosmos on him. So I would always spam like Hilbert effect.
Let me guess, you like Cosmos?
Yes.
Nope, can't stand.
But I
What
also love
podcast are
that
you
in
on?
this game our heal was so busted. Like I was most of the time I was not even getting to the higher attacks. I was going always for Hilbert effect because it was healing the whole party completely.
Hilbert effect is insane in that game.
It is.
Yeah, and it was also really crazy to use that like during a chain attack,
Yeah.
because then you could use the attack buff and just like nuke the screen. It's great. This game is fun in Xenoblade too.
You could play really high risk reward stuff with Hilbert effect. I know because I did it all the time, and I probably could have balanced my stuff better and avoided it being that high risk reward, but still, it was fun.
I don't see how it was high risk reward though.
Well, it's like if you were at one point I was focusing mostly on attack, so I had a lot less healers, and I was just letting Hilbert effect doing the heavy lifting on healing
Oh.
for me, and that's what I mean.
Well, I had Morag take the aggro and I was the one controlling the healing, so it was
Yeah.
fine.
You don't have to heal damage that the enemy can't do.
Oh, true.
Exactly.
Best defense, good offense.
And also, like in Blade 2, you can. It's so easy to do a crit heal build
Mm-hmm.
That
that
too,
like
yeah.
Oh yeah,
it gets to a point where,
Mithra.
in my opinion at least, I don't even really need healer blades. Not even just with Mithra. You could do that on other characters too.
Doesn't Cosmos have an ability that when she does like an attack, it like heals the party with the?
Yeah,
Hilbert
Hilbert
effect.
Yeah, we
effect.
were
That's what we
talking
were
about
talking
that.
about.
Oh,
It hits the whole, like all the enemies on the field on top of healing everyone. It's
It's a
very busted.
pretty good. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
pretty dang good heal.
And it's even better in a chain attack.
Mm-hmm.
Yup. So I guess the next thing we have to talk about is our default idea stats.
Yeah, her default idea stats are level 6 for bravery, level 3 for truth, level 4 for compassion, and level 3 for justice.
I'm kind of surprised Justice is not higher, but
Yeah, you would think it'd be kind of reversed on compassion and justice, but no.
yeah, the stats do still make sense. It's just a little odd considering our position.
But she is very brave.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
It tells you. It's like a funny little thing, like tying stats into like actual, like personality,
Yeah.
character personality points is pretty cool.
Yeah, that
I
is
did
really
like
cool.
that.
So then after that, we also have the favorite pouch item category are vegetable and art.
And yet her favorite item is meat,
Yeah, true.
which is a quote-letta? Quote-letta?
Yeah, I'm trying to read it. I'm just like, I think my
Quotellita?
French and English are fighting right now, but
Yeah. Hotellita? Like Nutella, but with a quote in front of it? I don't know.
yeah.
Uh,
I guess it is
sure.
kind of like quote, like a quote.
I can't
Letta.
remember. I can't think of what that would be
Lita?
based off of.
Quote Lita? I don't know.
And
Quotellita.
in Steamwork organ, is that I'm guessing that's the instrument. That'd be an instrument, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it is an
That's
instrument.
that's kind of a cool like image in my head of her just playing the
Yeah.
organ.
Steam powered organ.
She would look so cool doing that. It just
It's
reminds
one
me
of
of
the-
how Telos, one of her favorite items is a violin. I just remember just throwing a
Yeah,
bunch of
true.
violins at her. Should have developed a
Short budget
mountain of
Imagine
violin.
broken
violins.
violins at the feet of Telos.
Mhm.
Like, you shouldn't be throwing those.
Wait, hold on a second. Isn't Telos a Xenosaga character?
She's in this
Yes, but
game too.
she's also
She's
in this
also
game.
in.
DLC.
I had no idea. I thought the only Xenosaga character was Cosmos. I had no idea they also
Yeah.
brought Telos
Podcast
over.
now.
Yeah, Telos is a lot easier to get than Cosmos.
Yeah, because I think I don't fully remember the conditions, but I think if you are past a certain point in the game and you have the DLC, I think she has a very high chance of dropping or something.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like, yeah, I think they even raised the chance on her
Yeah,
of
they
the
raised the
drop.
chance for her to drop like by a crap ton. Like
It was extremely easy to get
I
her
know
Mhm.
to that
whenever
point.
she the DLC dropped, like I tried to do I think one roll and I think I got her almost instantly.
Though to be fair, she came with an update. She wasn't actually part of the DLC.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. That's right. Sorry.
So Anthony, you can get her.
Yes.
Oh, sweet.
But anyway, Morag. Um,
I feel like we're kind of getting to like closing thoughts on
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
I'll be real with you. I'm out of stuff to say.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Well, I see that you have some thoughts. B, would you like to go into your thoughts on Morag?
Oh, all right, sure. So I'll be honest, I have a little bit of a crush on Morag. As soon as I saw the character design, I'm like, I need to cosplay that. I don't know how I do it, but I do. Like just everywhere from her personality to the character design to the costume, I just love, love, love. And I don't usually gravitate towards characters, be like, oh hey, yeah, that's a nice, strong character. But for her, I don't know, she's something special.
Mhm.
She does a lot of growing up from like serving the emperor, uh, from justifying their kind of quote war to realizing yeah, Ulrus is pretty effed up, and let's see if we can go and make it a better place. She's loyal. She trusts who she trusts. Um, I believe she, like I wrote down in the notes that she had the opportunity to possibly be emperor, but she didn't want to do that. She wanted to be free to go explore, do what she wants, um, and be who she is. Like she knows who she is. She doesn't want to fit in any mold, and I just love that character design of Morag. Like I would say she is my favorite character in the game, hands down. Like if you line them all up in a row, she's my number one. So yeah, that's my thoughts. I'm
Well,
biased.
very well said, B. Um, I would echo your thoughts about Morag.
We're agreeing again.
I echo. Well, yeah, because Morag's like one of the most like interesting characters in this
I
game,
mean,
far and away.
Yeah,
But
I'm pretty sure this whole room will agree on everything you said just
I
now.
know. I'm being sarcastic.
what I was gonna what I was gonna say though is that like uh with how strongly you've gravitated towards Morag, I felt that way towards Brigid. So, Blade Driver, but like
Well, same one and the same.
yeah. So I gravitated a lot towards Brigid just because one, her immaculate design. There I have a weakness for purple and tall.
Me too.
I have a weakness for purple and tall, strong women. And like Bridget, have you seen Bridget's hair? Like it is the
I know.
coolest fucking thing. Anyway, so like I really love Bridget's like character design, her character, her personality. She's far and away one of my favorite blades in the game, if not my favorite blade. And I really like the impact that she has on the overall story and sort of the things that Bridget made me like think about throughout the journey together with the gang. So like Mor Ardain like is such a strong point in Xenoblade 2 because it really does feature, in my opinion, like two of the best characters in the entire game.
Mm.
And those are my closing thoughts.
Oh, nice. Anybody else want to share any last thoughts on Morag?
I would
Morag and
say
friends.
I think it's pretty similar to stuff that B said. For me too, like the first time I saw her, I was like, oh my gosh, she's so cool, and like
Mhm.
she's this lady who's like in military, like more masculine look, and I was really in love with the costume too. Not gonna lie, but yeah, I just really loved her from the get go, and that said, like I do love the entire cast of. I do love the entire cast of Xenoblade too, but like she's one of the top. She's one of the top. It's just I feel like I have a couple of characters that might be like equal because the cast of Xenoblade 2 is so wholesome. But yeah, like she's just so great, and I love the story behind like Mor Ardain as well, and like the characters of this place, and just how great you are. Um, yeah, I don't know what to add really because I feel like everything was said. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna stop it there. But like, I love her.
Valid.
I guess I would just add that I mean, like, I think I would just add. I thought it was kind of interesting how they wove her into the party as almost like suspicious and like at first in a way, and just like trying to make sure that everything's good, but like secretly, like deep down, she just really wants to see like Rex succeed, and she really wants to believe in
Yep.
what Rex is doing for like this, even though it's like this really idealistic thing, just like how much hope him being the Aegis driver carries with it, and her hoping for a better way than necessarily what her country has had to has it's felt like they've had to resort to doing, that she's not really for, but and just, it also that just like this also shows in her talk with Nia that we brought up earlier, but just her like her sense of regret in some ways for that, like that it felt like it had to be that way, and just the massive responsibility for taking that on her all on her shoulders, to the point like where whenever it's brought up and was like, hey, don't you think it's like messed up that your country is doing this to our country, though she doesn't really have any she's just more she doesn't have any kind of like denial for it, she doesn't have
Hmm.
any like sweet words to sugarcoat it, she just takes full responsibility.
Yeah, she doesn't make
She
excuses or
doesn't, yeah,
deflect. Yeah, which is
exactly.
really cool for.
And I
Yeah.
find it like everything about that is extremely admirable, and she does learn like things along the way about like I mean, because she's not fully on that track, but like you can tell that deep down she wants things to change for the better, and that's one of the big reasons that she rests her hope in Rex, is because it's an alternative to the like the senseless violence and war
Yeah.
and everything, and I really like that about her. She's a very sympathetic character, and like really Mor Ardain as a whole, like there's definitely people there that don't like care about that stuff and just want everybody kind of wants just the best for their country, but like they don't. There are some that clearly don't care who they hurt in the process, and you can tell that she does.
Mhm.
Yeah, she
So
does. She really does like try to weigh the consequences and stuff.
yeah, and she's really good at putting on a She's really good at keeping that poker face.
Yep.
Yep.
That's all I got.
Yeah. Like as for me, yeah, I just gonna be echoing everyone else, but um, yeah, she is definitely one of my favorite characters in the game. Um, I, as we've already mentioned, but just the way she kind of bends gender norms and breaks them is really cool, especially for a Japanese RPG.
Yeah.
Um, she's just a really cool character in general, and
And I think that's why I gravitate towards her, because I'm very much like that. I like to break gender norms.
mhm,
So I think a lot of people can relate on that level anyway. But yeah, like that's a pretty cool thing that they did,
mhm,
especially for a JRPG.
mhm, definitely.
Okay, I have one more thing.
Uh-huh.
You have one more thing.
Cool hat.
Yeah.
Cool hat indeed.
It is a
Cool
cool
hat.
hat.
Cool hat, cooler blade.
Cool hat, cooler blade.
Oh, well, yeah, that's
That
a
sounds
good
almost
point,
like it would be
Anthony.
an ad posted somewhere.
Anthony, very good point. We didn't even talk about the flaming whip swords.
Yeah, like that.
Never even brought that up. Well, I mean, we kind of did passing, but still, like
We did a very good job.
you don't have to even say we don't have to talk about how cool that is. It's
'Cause
just
they're-
written all over it.
Yeah, they're just
The
cool.
whips.
Yeah.
They're just
It's just
like
cool.
really fucking cool
That's the
fire
only
whips.
description, they're
I
cool.
actually went to the New York Renaissance Fair recently, and there was a guy who was doing a show, and the end of his act is he lights 2 whips on fire and starts like whipping them, and it's really cool because it was like seeing like Morag and Bridget go at it in person. It was awesome.
Next time you go,
Nice.
record it, and
Yes.
we'll put voiceover of just Morag and Bridget's dialogue.
Just give
over
me
it.
the order.
Play the music. Just play the music behind it.
Justin, do you have any last thoughts on Morag?
I really like her design. I think she's a very unique character for not just this kind of game, this series, but just in general. I
Yeah.
wish we had more like her, and that's really all I gotta say. That's not just dragging this out longer than it needs to be.
All right. Okay. Well, then I say we call it here. Very good discussion, guys.
Yeah, even though we were kind of like distracted or asleep at times. Oops.
It's okay. It's
Next.
late. It's a Thursday night. It's
Next time, caffeine it up.
Yep.
or take a nap or sleep. So we'll go around, and if there's anything you want to promote or share or something you're doing, whatever, or playing, we can share it. We'll start with you, Justin.
So on Retro Roulette, we're doing the Creepy Casino. So we're playing a bunch of horror and or spooky games. I'm sure by the time this episode is up, we'll be pretty far into the marathon. But if you missed previous games that we played, Sam has been uploading the VODs on our YouTube, so check that out.
It's
And
good.
yeah, that's really all I have to say.
Speaking
Okay.
of commanding women, Justin just played Bayonetta the other night.
Yep.
Very good
You
game.
don't command Bayonetta. Bayonetta commands you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Justin did not command Bayonetta. Justin wielded Bayonetta.
Or really, what I want to say is I was Bayonetta.
Yes, Slay Queen.
Indeed.
I
Well,
want to just add a
since-
quick addendum onto what Justin just brought up with Retro Roulette. We are on the 31st ish, the 30th and 31st. I think we're like doing a 2-day thing. We are going to be doing a big Halloween stream, so please be sure to check that out and come hang out and have fun because we will be playing Bayonetta 3, which will have only been out for 2 days at that point. When we go live with that.
Nice.
Assuming my copy makes it on time.
If it
Well,
doesn't, I'm
pray.
just going to go to the store and pick one up.
Anthony's just gonna buy it and
Yeah.
bring
Nice.
it.
Nothing's
Very
stopping
nice.
Yeah, sure.
Do you have anything else to share, Anthony?
me. I'm currently still working my way through Xenoblade 3. I am streaming it, and between D&D sessions, I'm basically streaming it whenever I can. So I am working on it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not beelining it like I typically do. For whatever reason, I am more compelled to explore in this one, which is crazy because I feel like I should be more compelled to beeline it in this one. It's weird. But
I'll give you that. Like the exploration is really good, and
Yeah,
like
and
the
there's a
pace
lot of
does give you
big-
some more breaks in some
Yeah.
ways.
Yeah.
I guess.
That and there's a lot of big side plot things that adds on a lot to the story as well. So I think it's good that you're actually
And the
going
game,
around.
Yes,
practically
but-
begs you to explore.
I do want to
Yeah.
make it for the review episode because that's important to me. So on one
Yeah.
hand, I'm not beelining it, but I really feel like I should be beelining it. So
I mean, if you have to, in the end, you can always
I
come
mean,
back to the exploration again.
I maybe this is going to be an unpopular opinion, but I kind of don't want to do a review episode. I kind of just want to. I feel like it'd be better if we just spoke about individual topics.
Like, oh, okay.
That might
Well,
actually be a better structure because, like, it is a lot to discuss.
No, I think it could have been cool to just do a shorter episode of maybe
We could do
just like her thoughts or
Quick
a
something
reviews?
of
general
the
thoughts episode, but I feel
Right,
general
like
yeah.
thoughts
Quick
there's
episode of the
reactions, I
whole
should
thing.
say.
Yeah,
okay, that's a bit more
that's
fair.
a bit
But
more what we
but
were
here's the
going
thing: if we
to.
do that, let's make it brief because I feel like there's a lot to talk about, and
um,
many of those topics can be individual episodes in and
Yeah,
of
Yeah.
I think it would
themselves.
be just an overview
I
of
agree.
how we
I agree.
Yeah,
felt about
like
the game
a,
in
like
general.
a
a
did you
quick
like it or did you
reaction
not like it? Like
let's
that,
let's talk about this off the
later.
episode.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah, we
yes.
don't.
sorry, I
Yeah,
didn't mean to bring up a raging debate.
no.
So basically I am working my way through it, and when we do talk about when we get around to talking about Xenoblade 3, I want to be around for that. That's basically my point. So I am working on
Sure.
that. My Dungeons and Dragon campaign is going really, really well. I'm addicted. My players are addicted. We're having a blast with it. I've learned that I'm apparently a very good DM, and I'm very good at coming up with stories. So I'm really happy about that, and I could say that D&D is now, 2 years after 2 years of playing it, it's now going to be a lifelong passion. I
Oh,
love this
nice.
game. It is awesome. It is incredible. To anyone listening who had thinking about trying it and has not done so yet, try it, please. I am begging you. I've wanted to do it for years. It took the pandemic and the world ending for me to get around to trying it, and let me tell you, it has changed my life. I love it. So, could not recommend it enough. And then aside from that, can't really think of much else. So yeah, I think that's about it for me.
All right. How about you, Marie?
Um, I'm also working my way through Xenoblade 3. Uh, hopefully I can get out of chapter 5 soon, but I don't know how much is left. I did finish the big exploration part of it though, I think. I think. I'm not sure if there's more. This is the thing with like these things that sometimes you're like, oh yeah, the story's going up by smoothly, and then you get to this gigantic zone and you're like, well, time to get distracted by every shiny. but yeah, aside from that, I do have a smaller convention next weekend, which I'm not quite realizing it's happening, but it's happening. So there was yeah, it's like you're in the mud, like you're a week before, you're just like, I have a convention next week. What?
Oh, okay.
But it's okay. It's a small one. It's a chill one. But basically, around the time where COVID had started and like we went into confinement, there was a convention that was supposed to happen back then that was a convention of Final Fantasy moving around, and it was the first time they were coming to Montreal, and then like it got cancelled or pushed. They kept the tickets of people, like, and they were like, we're just gonna push it for when we can actually reschedule it,
Oh
and
wow,
now is finally the
Nice.
time where they can reschedule it, and they
oh,
Nice.
did. So
wow, it's
yeah,
that one.
it's my ticket convention from like the pandemic,
I'm gonna say
basically.
no wonder you would forget about it because it's like, dang.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, that they almost talked me into signing up for that
I
one.
did
I
have to
was like,
fill a
I'm glad
form
I
to
did.
transfer to like the new ticket,
Mhm.
because basically what they did is that they did a form where you had to apply in advance just so that they would transfer your
Hmm.
old ticket to the new one. So yeah, that's the only thing I had to do, and they were like, "Oh yeah, chill. Here's your ticket. There you go." So it's already paid from like years ago. So yeah, I'm gonna go there, and it's a bit more different apparently. Like I've never really gone there, but apparently it's more intimate and like a bit like role playing ish, because like they kind of make know these lifetime events sometimes in some Final Fantasy, like in Final Fantasy 9, they do some events like this, like within the convention, and you can actually get points to exchange against things or against guild. So it's a
Oh.
really interesting. It's a really interesting concept. So I'm looking forward to it. It's called CupoCon,
Hmm.
but yeah, I'm really excited to see what it is about because I've been curious about that convention forever. So yeah, aside from that, not too much going on. Like it's mostly me trying to catch up on my games. And I also just got Trails of from Zero that got here, and I'm just like must resist until I finish Xenoblade 3. But yeah, that's pretty much it for now.
Well, that's cool. That sounds like a really cool convention. I hope you have fun.
Yes, yes, I'm sure I will.
Nick, how about you?
I mean, not much to like. I mean, not much to speak of. I'm at the big booty ending of Xenoblade 3. Basically, I got like the last dungeon, and that's it. I've been doing a lot of side stuff. It's been very hard to pull myself away from like exploration and stuff, especially in that game, to do to like actually finish it. But I'm going to very soon. And other than that, I've been playing a few other smaller games here and there, especially like I've started playing some like smaller spooky games for the Halloween
Spoopy.
season. But just here and there, I'm still mostly playing Xenoblade 3 whenever I play. Um, and I've also been, working on some side projects that I'm not really ready to talk about yet. Just some little art things. But
Yee.
Hmm.
hey, you'll see. I'll talk about it more in a later episode probably.
Yup.
Sweet.
But yeah, that's all I got.
Okay, how about you, B?
I'll be honest, life has caught up with me, so I haven't been doing any video games. Been busy with as you podcast people know, but not the audience. Someone in my family's getting married, so I'm busy with that. Um, so I haven't had any times for gaming, but can I plug a book?
Yes, of course. You can
Okay,
plug anything you want.
No.
excellent. I am not a reader. I'll say this right now. I hate reading, but there is one book that I recently picked up. Um, and I can't put the stupid thing down. It is a historical fiction called Five Little Indians by Michelle Good. It is a fictional story of residential school survivors. If you're into Indigenous residential school and learning more about that, the book is friggin' powerful. Oh my gosh, I can't put it down. And it takes place in like over in BC in Vancouver, and then there's some connection to what happens in the States. But if you're into historical fiction and anything like that, I highly recommend that book. Like I said, I hate reading and I can't put the stupid thing down. So yeah, there you go read a book.
Sounds like a good book. All right. Okay. As for me, I beat Xenoblade 3 a few weeks ago. Um, and I got a little burnt out doing post game stuff. So I've been playing a game called Citizen Sleeper,
I've
which
heard of this.
it's
I think I heard this name before.
it's so good. Like if you like Disco Elysium and it's like role play mechanics,
And you want
this
cuter art,
well uh,
you
and
know
kind
the
of
truth.
less gameplay in a way. Um, this will definitely scratch that itch. It's I really love the story and the settings, and so far it's just been very addictive. And I was trying to pick up something that'd be like kind of short after playing the monstrosity that is Xenoblade 3.
The
But
monstrosity.
It
sorry,
was a monstrosity.
that makes it sound so negative.
Ah.
But yeah, I've been addicted to Citizen Sleeper. Um, so I recommend that.
Yeah, I've been on my. I had my eye on that one. Looks really good.
Yeah. Um, but that's all I can really think of at the moment. Anyway, thanks everyone for joining in this episode. It was a fun chat.
Oh, yes, it was.
Thanks for the listeners for listening. We appreciate it. And if you ever want to reach out to us, say what we got wrong, what we got right, probably what we got wrong. You can at us on Twitter at XenoChat Podcast or email us at XenoChatPodcast@gmail.com. So, yeah, I think before this episode would have been the news episode, yes. So, yeah. Thank you again for listening, everyone, and have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.
People.
Bye.
Take care.
Save the game?
This should prove interesting to say the least.
Also, Nick, you're very distant. You may want to get a bit closer to your mic.
I'll just eat my microphone.
No.
Okay. I don't know if this works any better, but
Yeah,
we'll try it.
that's better.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
just-
that's
For a
better.
second, you were.
I was also kind of talking low, so
Oh, okay.
you know.
And Anthony, as usual, don't stay too close to your mic in your case.
But don't be too far away either.
Yeah.
Did you know that if you had the DK bongos, instead of clapping on the microphone, you could actually just go "Arr!" and it would pick it up as claps constantly, and it was like the
Wow.
turbo button for clapping.
That's
It was pretty great.
pretty great.
And if you recorded that, feel free to put it as like a secret sound or something. I don't know.
I am recording right now. On the backup.
Recording.
Engaging the enemy!
Turn your video down.
Yes, like we can hear you.
We seem to be doing just fine.
Okay, good job!
Arr! And it would